One is for signing and one is for authentication. So kanina meron ako nabasang tanong paano daw ina-acquire yung digital certificate or yung PNPKI certificate. So unfortunately po, by rule ng acquisition talaga ng digital certificates for digital signature, this is accomplished individually. And ano po, there is a certain application form that we need to fill up, whether it is PNPKI or sa outside na CA. You need to accomplish an application form and provide valid uh, tawag dito, identification or proof of identity na kayo yung nag-a-apply. So be it birth certificate, yung NSO birth certificate, or yung inyong copy ng passport. Aside from that, kapag na-validate po siya ni DICT, the applicants will be scheduled for a face-to-face verification. So doon, titingnan kayo ni DICT, dapat hawak ninyo yung inyong valid ID na present during application. And then after that vetting, saka lang po i-approve nila yung inyong application for digital signature. For the case natin recently, 2020 up to 2021, DICT raised the option for online validation, yung vetting. So they do that through the scheduled Viber session sa kanila, kung saan i-set namin kayo with a Viber ng mga malapit na DICT groups for PNPKI para doon kayo i-validate online doon sa inyong application para hindi na kayo personal magpunta doon sa PNPKI ng DICT. So may tanong din kanina paano daw po ginagamit yung digital certificate for signing. So here comes yung ating tools diyan pumapasok. For DSWD or for most of the cases na ginagamit ng para non-tamperable yung mga documents na pinipirmahan natin, we often use yung Acrobat Reader. So we recommend that you do affix your digital signatures only on PDFs. Kasi sila yung normally tamper-proof na mga documents. I-tamper man ito if it is digitally signed, of course, may invalidate yung signature. So there are tools to install yung certificates na mada-download nyo from DICT dun sa mga computers na exclusive na ginagamit ninyo. Once na-install po siya doon, may option si Acrobat Reader for certificates kung saan may button doon to digitally sign. So, dun sa button na yon, once you click, magkakaroon ka ng parang magdodraw ka ng box and then pipiliin mo yung signature po ninyo. By standard, ang ginagamit natin is of course a screenshot ng inyong original na pirma para naman medyo tayo kung standardized across. Pero basically, you can actually use anything or any marking that designates your digital signature as defined earlier on electronic versus digital signature. So ano yung expiration ng PNPKI natin from the ICT? That is 2 years. After 2 years, magre-reapply po tayo ng digital signature. Yung 2 years na yon is valid unless i-revoke po kayo nung DICT for certain reasons. So, of course, after 2 years, kailangan natin siyang i-renew. Pero ang renewal po niya, you have to undergo the same process ng initial enrollment ninyo. So, new application siya, treated as new application. And of course, kailangan nyo ulit mag-revalidate na may 2 processing days ito sa DICT. Ano naman yung mga reasons bakit mare-revoke yung ating digital certificate? As mentioned earlier, nakatali po siya sa personal information ninyo and at the same time doon sa opisina. So the moment na kayo ay umalis ng particular office, nag-resign o kaya ay nag-retire, kailangan pong i-revoke yung inyong digital certificate. That is to prevent yung misrepresentation ng opisina when it comes to the use of the digital signature. Saan siya ini-store? Normally, since wala tayong USB tokens for all sa ngayon, kaya din nyo siyang i-store on some USBs na normal. Tapos password protected lang po yung digital signature para portable, pwede nyo siyang magamit kahit saan. Yung iba naman, directly naka-install po siya dun sa laptops ninyo para pag open nyo ng Acrobat at pag-click nyo ng digital signature, manghihingi na lang siya ng password or PIN ninyo to affix your signature to the PDF documents. In some, although meron tayong pilot implementation nito, meron tayong tinatawag na digital signature tokens or digital certificate tokens. We will initially pilot ito siguro for Exicom muna temporarily. We will be acquiring a number of digital security tokens. For priority nga, ilang piraso lang po yun. Pilot testing lang for Exicom. So ano naman yung mangyayari kung halimbawa nakalimutan ninyo yung inyong digital certificate? Kasi minsan kapag na-install nyo sa isang laptop o kaya bigla nagpalit kayo ng device or na-save nyo sa kung saan naiwan ninyo yung inyong token. So ima-mark natin yan as for compromise. So halimbawa naman, naibigay ninyo sa isang staff na biglang nagloko, ima-mark natin siya for compromise and kailangan po siyang ipa-revoke kay DICT. Pag napa-revoke po siya, hindi na po siya magagamit for digital signing or for authentication, and you will be issued a different PNPKI digital certificate. So ano naman yung magiging protection? Kaya nga ito kalimitan tanong ng mga tao. Mayroon akong digital certificate, ganito yung pwedeng maging kaso ko kung ito'y magamit. So that is why mayroon tayong protection dun sa digital certificate, which is either yung security token na minention ko kanina. And kung wala naman tayong digital certificate token, pwede natin siyang protektahan through the PIN. When you install po kasi yung digital certificate, you had an option to set a PIN dun sa inyong operating system, either on the browser or in the certificate storage ng computer ninyo to set a certain PIN or password para every time na may mag-a-attempt pumirma gamit yung computer ninyo, hindi niya maa-affix yung digital signature ninyo without knowing the PIN. Okay? So ano naman po ba yung mga nagawa nating steps in preparation to the use of PNPKI in the past year? So actually, we've started yung exploration nito way back 2019. So we had an initial orientation on the ICTMS way back February pa. Na-interrupt lang tayo nito nung nagkaroon ng pandemic kasi hanggang kay Exicom lang yung inabot ng orientation natin. So midway, second semester August, nagkaroon tayo ng mass orientation nito online. We had around 195 people na na-reach online. Ang tawag dito, resource person natin way back then was directly from the DICT, Digital Certificate Division po. So we have roughly 4 sessions already. Pero we are still planning for another session kung talagang kinakailangan. So we are just gathering more information para naman makalaman natin kung there is really a need na mag-conduct tayo ng another session. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga ways forward natin? So, of course, continued support sa enrollment ng digital certificates. Currently kasi sa haba ng mga naging session natin, meron lang tayong 225 na PNPKI registrants as of April. So, of course, kasama na dyan, since digitalization yung naging topic natin, there is a continuous need to improve yung ating infrastructure na tinatawag. So, that includes yung network, communications, and of course, yung mga computing facilities natin. Kasama na dyan yung mga laptops and all. Okay? Of course, in response dun sa ating ease of doing business, kasama na dyan yung continued business process re-engineering natin as a technical assistance to all OBSUs na may frontline business processes para naman mapabilis natin ang proseso and lessen the documentary requirements pa. Okay, for any other materials kagaya ng enrollment forms or yung other procedures na maaaring hindi natin naitanong ngayong araw, you can go visit itong link po sa ilalim. Meron tayong dedicated na portal which is contains all the materials we've used for the past orientations on PNPKI. Kasama na dyan yung mga contact person sa DICT, materials, FAQs, yung form, ano yung mga valid IDs na pwede nyong magamit, and other questions na can possibly be raised pa. Okay? So, dako tayo sa Q&A. Balikan natin yung mga questions kanina. If there are any other questions po that you would like to add, simply click yung ask question dito sa taas and we'll try to address them one by one kung mabilisan lang po kasi we only have 15 minutes. Okay? So, balikan natin yung isa sa mga question dito kanina. Ito yung sunod dun sa lineup natin. So, yung susugan lang daw yung question ni Miss Elma kasi tungkol sa kanilang capital outlay and merong gadget na hindi nila mabili. Okay, though this is included on the dilemma natin or gaps when it comes to infrastructure. So, ang magiging option lang po natin dito since ICTMS doesn't really have capital outlay din po, ano. Isa sa option really is to explore yung possible inclusion nito on other open projects like Be First. So I think they have an open submission for proposals related to beneficiary first. If there are certain purposes of this acquisition related or that may impact the beneficiary first initiative, you might include this as a proposal dun sa Be First. Also, there is an option naman po to explore the availability of providers for such equipment na hindi po capital outlay. Kumbaga, services siya na parang katulad nung ating ina-acquire na video conferencing equipment, no? Video conferencing equipment natin, wala rin tayong capital outlay but we are able to acquire its services. Yun nga lang, taon-taon, kailangan natin siyang i-surrender, i-pull out. Pero good thing there is nagamit natin yung serbisyo niya in a span of time. So, yun lang po yung pwede naming maibigay na mga options related sa absence ng capital outlay. Kasi po yan talaga, if ever it's not planned or not given to us by DBM, we have to source out any other options. And isa sa option na yun is, yun nga, explore other options ng external funding like yung beneficiary first. And of course, services that may entail maybe rental or lease of such equipment for the sole purpose na magamit natin yung services ng equipment po na iyan. Okay? Next. Ito, from Anonymous. Ayaw pa sabi kung sino. Okay? Meron pong tanong dito. Sa mga in-house development na information systems, ICTMS po ba ang naglalagay nito sa ISSP? Actually, for information systems po, Sir Ma'am, there is a workshop conducted by ICTMS during planning session. Ito yung pinakang parang ISSP workshop natin. There is also an ISSP TWG na may composition by OBSU if I may recall. Sila po yung nag-identify ng mga requirements when it comes to hardware, information systems, and all. So, dinidefine nila doon ano yung mga coverage. And then later, saka po natin i-drill down siya kung capable po ba yun na makonduct in-house or outsource po ni ICTMS. So basically, requirements for development of information systems, yan po ay dinidefine ng mga system owners kasama ang proseso po niyan and then ina-itemize po siya sa ISSP. Ang ginagawa lang po dyan ni ICTMS is nilalatag po siya, ini-inform ang mga other OBSUs if there are such systems or information systems na bumabangga sa request ng iba pang OBSU. Halimbawa, related to finance, related to data capture. Kapag napansin namin na medyo may conflicting siya na pwede namang mag-merge, yun po, ina-analyze siya in a way na pwede nating ma-converge yung mga ganong requirements para ma-produce into one single system na hindi necessarily mag-o-overlap po sa isa't isa. So again, to answer the question, ang naglalagay po niyan ay ang system owners. And then later lang po dinidefine kung kaya siya ng ICTMS internally. Pero given the current workload po ng development team natin ng ICTMS, most of the time, pagka mga complex systems po ang inire-request ng OBSU, nagiging outsource po yung default requirements na ginagamit nila. Okay. We have another one here. I believe na-discuss po natin ito partially kanina, yung difference ng e-sig sa digital documents saka yung sa digital signature. So the main difference lang actually is the presence of the digital certificate which proves the identity ng tao and then yung tatlong properties na authentication, integrity, and non-repudiation. Next, may question na, this year we were asked to submit PDS as required by HR, original signature, and this policy na work with HR to require even dun sa photo na attach. Okay. For this one, sir, I think this is addressable by people ng HR. Although technically, yes, pwede naman pong i-accomplish natin ng ating PDS via digital signature. But of course, there there may be a need for HR to issue a formality nito para kung acceptable talaga na digital signature or electronic signature yung mga PDS submissions natin. Of course, alam naman natin na hindi lang naman HR ang may requirement nito, but of course civil service. So there may be compliances na kailangang gawin with regards to that. So I guess this one needs to be also raised with HR with regards to acceptability of documents, particularly PDS, that are digitally signed po. Okay, this one, kung i-cover ba ang digital certificate, I think yes, nadaanan po natin ito. Okay, may plan po ba ang ICTMS or HR to request digital certificates? Okay, so I think we have also mentioned this one. Again, the application po for digital certificate or PNPKI is done individually by people kasi po may mga sensitive documents na kailangang i-present dito during application. Kasama dyan yung birth certificate and passport aside dun sa application form. In as much as we want sa ICTMS to facilitate mass enrollment po nito, isinasaalang-alang din po namin yung privacy ng mga tao kasi kapag ipinrocess namin ito na kumbaga represented namin ang mga users, ICTMS would have to handle all your personal documents like passport and yung birth certificate ninyo. So, we don't wanna risk na magkaroon tayo ng kakaibang issues when regards to handling such personal information. So, ang mangyayari lang po nito would be to facilitate, we can send you yung form na yon and agreed from ICT na matrix ng mga enrollees. Kapag napilapan nyo po yung matrix na yon and na-submit sa DICT, i-schedule na lang po namin kayo for vetting with the DICT group. Pero all the requirements po like yung passport, birth certificate, and other sensitive IDs or sensitive information na meron kayo will be submitted by the individual applicant personally to the designated contact in of the DICT PNPKI para hindi po tayo magkaroon ng issue with regards to handling ng mga personal information nyo po. Okay po. Next. Do we have to wait for the guideline before we apply individually for PNPKI? Ay, for this one, ma'am, we don't have to wait kasi po yung PNPKI is actually open to everybody. And with all the issuances that we mentioned earlier, so acceptable naman po yung paggamit ng PNPKI especially for reporting. Though there may be a need for minor issuances for critical or high-level documents like finances, mga DVs. I think there are certain provisions po dun sa mga issuances na yon that may require high-level approval. Pero for certain documents like say DTRs or mga reports, I think okay naman po siya. So you are free to subscribe to the PNPKI individually po. No need to wait for additional guidelines para po makakuha nito kay DICT. This is open for everybody. Next question, pwede kaya isama yun sa clearance when an employee resigned from office to revoke the digital signature from the company? Well, I guess ma'am, this is a good step. Kasi po ang nangyayari ngayon kapag may mga tao tayo na nagre-resign or hindi nagre-renew, ang nangyayari, nagmamanual pa po kaming inquiry kay HR kung sino yung mga list. Pero there are earlier arrangements naman po kay HR na sinasabihan si ICTMS ng mga individual who leaves the organization. Kasi nire-revoke din namin po yung kanilang access not only for such digital signatures from the ICT but also other systems na may access po sila. For example, kung halimbawa ikaw ay webmaster ng particular na site or administrator ng isang particular na system, if we are informed by HR, kasama po or sabay na inire-revoke yung mga access to such information systems or even yung ating Active Directory po. So the HR also notifies us ng mga ganyan kapag may lipat naman halimbawa ng ibang opisina. Kasi kailangan din nating i-suspend yung access nila on certain levels like file servers or even systems na hindi naman dapat nila hawak when they transfer to another offices. Pero yun nga, medyo mahina ang compliance dito when it comes to that. So there may be a need to reissue or highlight yung need to exercise yung ganong klase ng notices ng HR, not only in ICTMS but to other OBSUs when it comes to transfer ng authority or ng mga obligations for leaving another office during their clearance application. Okay, ito na yung final question natin. Is there a qualification, Mancom level as the employer to qualify for application ng digital signature? Okay, as mentioned po, the PNPKI digital signature is open for everybody. So long as you can prove your identity, you have your application form, you have your identity like passport, whether you are belonging to a government entity or sa person, you are qualified po for digital certificate sa PNPKI. Yun nga lang, for government issued, since we are pa in government, you need also to prove that you belong to a particular office kasi nga po, the digital certificate is tied also to the institution where you belong. Ganun po yun. So pag pumipirma tayo, kapag tinilik yung ating pinirmahan na portion dun sa document, makikita dun yung information that blah 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 Juan de la Cruz belongs to Department of Social Welfare and Development. May mga ganun pong information doon kapag kinlik. So again, there is no special qualification po for acquiring digital certificate. This is open to everybody pa. Okay? Any other question pa?
Okay, thank you, Sir Shin. May mga question lang po, sir, sa chat box. Basahin ko po.
Okay.
Hello. Opo.
Sige po.
Una po, from eh, ah, Ma'am Elma is tinatanong niya po kung sino po yung proponent ng BFIRS.
Ang BPERS project, as far as I know, ay nasa finance. Kina Director Wayne yung primary nito. Pero I think the main programs po ay ang Pantawid, Pamilyang Pilipino. Pero ang ano po nito, since ang primary ay beneficiary first or enhancement ng finance, I think it's with the finance group, kina Director Wayne.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Next is, I think this is not a question. The FOCAR is just requesting the copy of the presentation. Yes po, we will provide po the copy of the presentation. And from Ma'am Becca, I checked this with the ICT. Di naman daw ito nakatali sa DSWD, pero sa mismong applicant. So why the need to revoke the digital certificate?
Okay. So based dun sa orientation po na kinandak sa amin noon, dahil nga pag in-apply nyo to being signatory, for example, within the department. So ang specific na inano sa amin dito is that if this is applied in behalf of your office, kasi kung ginagamit mo siya for signing, for example, halimbawa, digital certificate ni Director Wayne, as the director for finance. So nakatali yung identity niya doon sa pagiging director ng finance doon sa digital certificate niya that time. So kung sakali po na halimbawa mag-move out si Director Wayne later, so there may be a need to revoke yung certificate para maikabit naman siya doon sa susunod na tao that will occupy the same authority for signing. Kasi there is also such a thing as a organization certificate naman po, which is primarily used for digital signing. Pero ang main concern lang talaga na mina-highlight ni DICT for revocation especially is yun, leaving organization, retirement, or kung halimbawa, disease or yung kung anumang administrative case that caused him to be left out of the organization. Yun kasi yung inorient sa amin ni tawag dito, ni Digital Certificate Division the last time po. So, pero good thing kung halimbawa hindi na nila ipa-revoke, mas maganda po kasi you will experience the 3 years. Pero as a security measure, kung halimbawa critical yung signatory na aalis, it's much better to have the signature revoked, especially kung lilipat na ng opisina po yung pipirma. Kasi yung pag-a-apply niya noon, mayroon siyang specific information that he is currently occupying a certain position here in DSWD po. Yun po yun.
Okay po. Thank you, sir. Another question po. This is from Ma'am Helen. How to transfer the PNPKI to another laptop, sir?
Okay. So during the enrollment procedure po and yung activation ng DICT, they will be sending you an email containing yung procedures kung saan mayroon nire-require sila na certain version ng tool like Firefox to download yung tool and to generate. So using that tool, you can export po yung digital certificate and yung kanyang private key. You can save it somewhere in a folder or even a USB. So, pagka na-export nyo po yon, that is the time you can transfer that to another device like a laptop or a desktop. And then you install that manually dun sa laptop po na paglilipatan ninyo. If ever di po kayo familiar dun sa exportation, using yung link na pinrovide ni DICT, you can simply write us a ticket and then papupuntahan po namin kayo sa tao namin to help you download and activate your certificate. Kasi may kailangang ipa-install si DICT na lumang version ng Firefox po sa inyo to retrieve it. Yun yung medyo downside ni PNPKI. Lumang Firefox po yung ipinagagamit nila to retrieve their PNPKI digital certificate. Okay po. Yun po.
Okay,
Pero
thank
it's
you, sir.
definitely transferable.
Okay po. Sige po. Ma'am Helen, okay na po? Sige po. So, okay. Meron pa po bang karagdagang katanungan for Sir Shane? Thank you daw po, Sir, from Helen. Sige po. So, I guess, kung wala na po tayong tanong, ayan. So, uh, from Sir Shin, that's all. Stay safe. So, maraming salamat po, Sir Shin, for your time, no? Sa umaga hanggang hapon po. Medyo na-extend po tayo, ano po. So,
Okay po.
maraming salamat po, and I'm sure marami po kaming natutunan at nalaman pagdating po sa data protection. So, maraming salamat po, Sir Shin.
Okay po. Thank you din po for listening. Okay po.
Okay po. So, moving on, share ko lang po yung aking screen. So, ngayon po, dadako na po tayo sa ating discussion on G Suite application o yung ating tinatawag na Google Suite application. So, para po umpisahan yung discussion natin on the G Suite application. So, pupunta po tayo sa ating next topic, which is the overview of the Google Suite application. So, ang mag-share po sa atin ng topic na ito ay mula po sa Google Japan and Asia Pacific. So, our resource person for this topic is no other than Mr. Danny Larson. Sir, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Jason. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. So, we'd like to turn over to you now the mic and the screen for your presentation and discussion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'll take over the presentation. Okay. Do let me know if you've seen my screen, and you can see it in the Google Meet.
Yes, sir. Nakikita po namin.
Okay, perfect. I'll continue then. All right. So hello everyone on the call, and thank you for having me. So my name is Danny Larson. I'll be taking you to get through this presentation. It's an overview of Google Workspace and an introduction to Google Workspace. Basically, the tools and the features and the functionality that you can find in Google Workspace. If you're wondering what Google Workspace is, actually it's a rebranding of what we used to call G Suite or Google Suite. Now we have changed the terminology, and now it's referred to as Google Workspace. So for those of you who I've not met before, hello. I think I've met some of you on this call. I recognize Sheen, who was presenting earlier, and also Sir Ben, who's on the call as well. But basically, I am the Google Workspace specialist for public sector region in Google Cloud, covering the JPEG market as well. I'm based in Singapore and been at Google for about 4 years, but I work closely, very closely in the Philippines market and together with DSWD as well. So to begin my presentation, I just want to say, at Google, we realize that, work is no longer the same, right? 35% of office workers actually spend less than 15 minutes a day outside. I'm not sure about you guys, but when I get to my office or when I start working, I get on my laptop and I don't take a break until maybe it's about lunchtime, and then I take about half an hour to 1 hour break, and then I continue on till dinner. So I'm sure a lot of you have the same sentiments and realize that a lot of your time is actually spent on your laptop itself, right? And this was even true before the pandemic itself. We realized that a lot of office workers, they spend a lot of time on their laptops. So obviously, Google itself, we want to ensure that the tools you use for collaboration and for connecting and for creating documents has to be useful to you, has to be helping you save time and getting your best work done. Right, and now moving on, the pandemic is still upon us. We know that work is transforming into ways we can would never have imagined, right? Just to share with you some in my case as well, at Google, I've not been in the office for more than a year now, right? Our offices has been shut. We can go in, but most for the past year, 90% of my work has been done from home, in my home office, on my home computer itself. So work is no longer a place. It's no longer tied to a physical location. I can be working from home. I can be working from my relative's house, or even overseas as well. And I can still and we see that it's still going to continue this way. A hybrid kind of workplace well into the future, right? And I don't know about you, but I feel like time is really more precious now. We're not just focusing on work at the moment, and I know Philippines is going through, a rough patch as well in terms of the COVID situation. But time is definitely more precious. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of family members, and we're also caregivers of our family members. And we also miss that human connection. Yes, we are connecting through Google Meet, but is that the same as being in the office? A lot of the human connection has now been lost when we move to a remote or hybrid work environment. So definitely imagine a world where the tools that you use every day when you open up your laptop or your computer for work. Imagine a world where the tool is actually really flexible, so that it can allow you to work from anywhere, allow you to work from home or a relative's house or from a cafe even. And we need that kind of flexibility in our daily lives. And we have to have helpful tools as well that help you maximize time. Okay, maybe I spend 7 hours a day on my laptop, but I want to make sure that those 7 hours that I'm spending on my laptop is maximized to the maximum capabilities, right, that it can offer. However, we also want to ensure that tools are simple to use. We don't want complex tools that you have to, you have to learn and train on for months on end just to get good at it. So we try to envision these three pillars when building Google Workspace to ensure that it's flexible for you, it's helpful for you, and also simple, so that you can stay connected and have that human-centric element into Google Workspace. So that's where Google Workspace comes in. Don't be surprised if you never heard of the word Google Workspace before. We actually rebranded into Google Workspace about towards the end of last year. Google Workspace used to be called G Suite, and the reason for the rebranding is because we wanted to highlight the Google branding in our product itself, and also it tells you that we are committed to Google Workspace, or what we call G Suite, and we'll continue to develop it and make it even better for you. And don't feel shy if you have any questions. Right, you can post it in the Q&A box or in the chat box. I'll definitely answer them. Or if you want, you can also unmute yourself and stop me at any point of my presentation so I can answer your questions as well. With that, I'll be showing a quick video on Google Workspace just to give you a sense of the way we can collaborate even closer with Google Workspace as well.
Okay, let's get started.
Can we make that on?
Right, there we go.
Okay. What do you think, Steve? Steve?
All right, so hopefully that video gave you a sense of what you can do and what you can accomplish with Google Workspace. Really simple and easy to use. You can see that the users were able to move seamlessly between Google Gmail, between chat, video conferencing with Google Meet, and content and collaboration with docs, sheets, and slides, and so on. So all of that, everything that a user needs, fully connected with each other to get your work done. And whether you're at home, at work, or in the office, it's the best way you can actually create, communicate, and collaborate. And all of these tools are familiar to you, right? You have fewer distractions and more time to actually make things happen. So Google Workspace actually includes all of the productivity and solution collaboration tools that you know and love. Nothing has changed from that standpoint. We got the tools such as Gmail for your email, Calendar for scheduling, Google Drive for your storage, and your editors, which is your doc sheets and slides, and also, of course, Google Meet for conferencing. But a lot of my customers are asking me today, so what's the difference between G Suite and Google Workspace? Was it just a name change or just a rebranding? Actually, no. As you move into Google Workspace in the near future, you'll see a lot more unity within the applications itself. The applications are much more integrated with each other. So, for example, we at Google, we realized that Gmail is the most used application out of all of our applications, right? So we wanted everything to begin with Gmail. So when you open up your laptop and you open up Gmail, you can now access things like your chat. You can access things like chat rooms. You can start a meeting from Gmail as well. And in the future, you can also open up different applications such as doc sheets and slides right from the Gmail interface itself. So that's something really cool to look out for. And you might be wondering, how are we actually different, Google Workspace? So earlier, I mentioned our three pillars, right? Flexible, helpful, and simple. And we want to ensure that for flexible from the beginning, Google Workspace was actually engineered to help teams collaborate from anywhere. So that's giving you the flexibility, and also across any device, whether it's your work laptop, your company issued mobile device, and so on. And our tools have always been accessible with just an internet connection, right? Everything works seamlessly from your browser itself. So you don't have to download additional, applications. You don't have to install additional softwares and so on. All you need is an internet connection. And even without an internet connection, we do also have offline mode for you to use. Next, helpful technology, right? Instead of distracting you or adding more steps to get something done, Google Workspace actually, with the power of AI and machine learning, right, anticipates your needs and augments your work so that you can maximize time. And then simple, right? Imagine where technology puts people at the center, so that even teams who've never met in person or someone who's newly onboarded to DSWD, right, they can actually feel like they're connected with the team, and they can actually get up and running on Google Workspace in no time. So let me just jump a little bit deeper into the 3 pillars I mentioned and give you some examples itself. So with simplicity, Google Workspace is actually built with consumer-grade usabilities, and we put people at the center, and we ensure that the human connection is still relevant with Google Workspace. As you can see on the example here, we are creating what we call a picture-in-picture meeting. So for example, you and your team, you're collaborating on a presentation right now, and you are all working together on this one proposal. And instead of opening up a different Meet application in the future, you can actually start a meeting from the Google Slide application itself, what we call picture-in-picture meeting. And then you can connect seamlessly by that that method as well. And make sure we have to make sure our tools are helpful as well, again, to help you save time. You probably notice some small little time saving features that you can find in Google Workspace. For example, in Gmail itself, we've used AI and machine learning to develop features like Smart Compose and Smart Reply, so that as you are replying your email, Google Workspace actually finishes your sentences for you. And with that, you can actually finish an email or typing out an email or a chat conversation much quicker than before. Now, you might think, that's just saving me a few seconds per email. But think about how many emails you send per day. Think about how many employees are using Google Workspace in DSWD or across the world. And then you can think of the scale of the feature and how much time it can actually save for everyone using Google Workspace. And flexibility, right? Google Workspace was always built as an open collaboration platform, so that working from anywhere is a reality, and you can do so with Google Workspace, right? And we also pioneered what we call real-time collaboration, where you open a Google Doc, and as you are typing, it's automatically saved and updated in your drive. You can have multiple people working on one document at the same time. So this is what we call real-time collaboration, and that can't be done with any other collaboration platform today. Gone are the days where you have to create versions of a document, right? You have a proposal version 1, and then you attach it to an email. It gets sent to someone else, and then they do the edits, and it's now version 1.1 and then 1.2 and so on and so forth. Now with Google Workspace, you don't actually have to do that. It can all be tracked online through Google Drive as well. So Here's another video that I would like to play, but this one a little bit more fun. It shows you an example of how you can use Google Workspace to celebrate someone's birthday, right? Something so simple that we used to do in the office, where we come together to celebrate one of your co-workers' birthday. But this is how it can be done on Google Workspace today as well. So there you go, right? You can see that it's not all just work. Of course, you have to remember about fun and celebration as well. And Google Workspace can help you do that all remotely, right? Even where you have to have this hybrid environment and you have to cater for the remote working individuals as well. So what you get from working with Google and Google Workspace itself, as a public sector organization, of course, security is number one concern, especially for Sachin as well. So with Google Workspace, you can be rest assured that the infrastructure that Google Workspace relies on or uses every day is the same infrastructure that's used by Google Search or YouTube, and it's very robust and very secure. And you can ensure that we have tools in place to combat things like spam or phishing accounts and so on. And with Google Workspace and Gmail as well, we have more than 2.6 billion users worldwide. So you can imagine the amount of security focus that we put on our platform. And we have security experts, working around the clock to make sure that, all of our users are safe and secure. And with COVID as well, we've seen a huge increase in, attacks, malicious attacks from, things like hackers or ransomware and so on. So hopefully, with Google Workspace, you can sleep a little bit easier knowing that your data is safe and secure. And, this is a topic that's, talked about a lot recently in the region, about, being carbon neutral or environmentally friendly, right? So with Google Workspace, coming on Google Workspace, you can be proud that, you are working with a vendor or a vendor which has carbon neutral, right? Our data centers actually use less energy, right? 50% less than the industry average. We plan to be completely carbon free by 2030. I think at this point, we actually use solar more than any other vendor out there to power our data centers as well. So you can be rest assured, and you can actually start boasting that actually the tools I use, work towards a healthier planet and a greener planet and so on. So that is it for me on the introduction to Google Workspace. I hope that was helpful. Next, we have our partner here to take you through each one of these applications, and hopefully you can learn more on an individual level of what you can get out of Google Workspace. With that, thank you. I'll pass it back over to to Ivan.
Thank you, Sir Danny, for your presentation and discussion on the overview of the Google Suite application. So, by the way, Sir Danny is from India. So, if you have some questions, I think you better ask him in English so that he can understand better.
Sorry, I'm from Singapore, Jason.
Ah, okay. I'm sorry. Are there questions or clarification that you would like to raise to Sir Danny? Okay.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
I am practicing my Tagalog because I meet with a lot of Filipino customers. So I know magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. So that's one of the practices
Oh,
I'm trying.
okay,
And
sir.
another one
Uh,
is salamat. So thank you for having me.
Okay, sir. But for now, it's magandang hapon here in the
Okay, yes.
Philippines.
Sorry, yeah, it's in the
Okay.
afternoon.
I guess Ma'am Elma has a question. Yes, Ma'am Elma, please kindly proceed with your question.
Yes, Sir Danny, I have a question. I believe that DSWD has a corporate account for its employees. My question is, is all the application of Google Workplace accessible by the staff? Because
Correct.
there are several.
So yes, so DSWD does have a corporate account with Google Workspace. So yes, all of the applications you see that I've presented earlier, such as doc sheet slides, Google Drive, Google Meet, and Gmail, everything should be accessible by your corporate credentials itself. So you can go to things like docs.google.com or slides.google.com, and all the other functionalities so you can access these applications.
So we have to do a self-study like this one. You draw diagrams. Is this also animated diagrams? Are they
Um,
moving?
which diagram were you referring to? Sorry.
This one, draw diagram. This is also from Google Workspace.
So let me just go back to the applications. Is it any one of these applications you were referring to?
Oh, no. I searched the Workspace and then it says Google draw diagram.
Maybe I'll send you a link in the chat so you can access the Google Workspace page, and you can see all the different features and functionalities and applications found within Google Workspace itself.
Sir Danny, if I may,
So Ben,
I believe Ma'am Elma is referring to Draw.io. If you are have any idea on that.
draw diagrams, draw.io.
Yeah, Draw.io or diagrams.net. Since this is like attached in Google Drive.
Got it. I think that the draw.io application might be a third-party application which is found in our marketplace. So it's not really a Google application per se. But with Google Workspace, what we can do is we actually have a lot of extensions where you can add on. So for example, if you open Google Sheet or Google Slides and you want to use one of our third-party marketplace extensions, you can actually add them to your Google Workspace account. So for example, draw.io would be one of them that you can add as a extension, but it's not per se a Google product, it's a third-party product. Correct. Yeah. I think I saw your link there. So yes, it's a marketplace product. So that means it's a third-party tool developed by another company, but you can add it as a capability into your extended Google Workspace functions. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So another question is from Miss Patriana Kines. Sir Daddy, Google Workspace has pricing by plan, right?
Yes, that is correct. So you can see the different plans that we have. Maybe I can send a link on the chat as well. But yes, we do have different pricing by different plans. We have actually, two different buckets of plans or two different groupings. One is the business plans, and one is enterprise plans. So with business, you have the business starter, business standard, and business plus. And then with the enterprise, you have the enterprise standard and enterprise plus plans. So each of these plans have different features and functionality, different levels of security, um, uh, and so on, and different levels of Google Meet capabilities as well. For example, recording feature would be found in the business standard plan. If you want things like archiving or email archiving, you need the business plus plan. If you want additional security such as data loss prevention, that could be found in the enterprise plans. So yeah, different plans have different functions.
Yes, thank you, sir. And I think Sir Melvin, one of our division chief, has also a question. Sir Melvin. Sir Melvin. Sir Melvin, medyo mahina po yung dating po ninyo. Sir, mahina po.
Maybe while we may wait for Sir Melvin, I saw another
Yes.
question about Google Currents and Google Sites.
Hello, good afternoon.
Ayan, better Sir Melvin. Go ahead,
Okay,
please.
am I clear na? Good afternoon, Sir Danny.
Hello.
Actually, I entered the room late because I was in another meeting. Is it okay if we contact you after this meeting? So, for example, we encounter problem, especially with the security, and then we will ask you, how could we reach you?
Okay, sure. So I have my email address. Maybe I can share. But maybe for the first level of support, you can reach out to your partner I1. And if unable to resolve with I1, then they will escalate to me itself. And that's Is that all right? Or
Thank you, sir. So you'll be giving us your email address so we could contact you.
sure, let me maybe type it in the chat itself.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Sure, no
Thank you,
worries.
Sir Melvin. So another question is from Ma'am Charmaine. Sir Danny, what is the use or main function of the Google Currents and Google Site?
Okay, thank you. So a good question, right? So Google Currents is more like a internal portal for any organization who wants to post like different updates, like company updates. You can have different groups within Google Currents itself. You can have different. It's like an intranet per se, cloud-based intranet for you to have different teams, different organization units. You want to post a company-wide update, you can do so as well. So that's the main feature of Google Currents. Google Site is for you to build internal and external facing sites using Google Sites. It's actually very easy to use. For example, if you want to create a HR site for DSWD and you want to showcase, maybe some updates, or you want to showcase your organization chart of DSWD's HR team, for example, you can create a site on Google Site itself. It's actually very intuitive, very easy to use, so anyone can actually create a site itself. Then once you click publish, you can share it with all of your users.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think there are no questions anymore in the chat box. So thank you for your time, Sir Danny,
Thank
for
you.
providing us the overview of the G Suite application. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
So We'll now proceed to the next topic. As Sir Daddy mentioned earlier, his presentation is an overview of all the G Suite application that we will be discussing in the next 3 days. So for our first topic on G Suite application for this afternoon, we will discuss the Google Mail and Google Drive. And for this topic, our resource person would be the manager, and he's also a Google certified educator of I1 Resources Incorporated. So may I introduce to you our resource person for this topic, no other than Mr. Richard S. Grimaldo. Magandang hapon, sir.
Yes, good
Sir.
afternoon. How's my audio?
Okay lang, sir.
Okay, salamat. Okay, so this time around, thank you, Danny, for having you in our plenary, since this is the introduction of Google Workspace, and we are very happy to have you here at DSWD. So he is our partner for our engagement, especially with the government. We are your support, local support for the Google Workspace here. So as I have mentioned, I1 Resources is providing you the service for 1 year now, and we hope for the upcoming renewal of license, you will now be upgraded to a more advanced features, and maybe that's this coming October. So all the features that are available on Google Workspace, you will now enjoy it, because at the moment, the business suite has no recording yet, but the latest provided by the Google Workspace will now have the recording capability. So you can maximize that up to 150, more or less. So we can host several webinar like this, and we can do now have a breakout rooms, something that we are using right now. But pardon me for my current setup, because my company Google account is not yet upgraded to a much higher version, so a much higher package. No? Okay, so let me start by sharing my presentation. So actually, this is more as requested by DSWD. This would be a more a sort of workshop wherein I will introduce you. I will introduce you to the application itself. So we will start with the Gmail. No, we will tackle about the keep and the task, because as per the schedule that we have, medyo advance tayo. So medyo mabot tayo ng 2 o'clock. So our schedule would be 1 to 2:30. But if you can allow us to extend further, much better, because we will squeeze these 3 topics into a 1 hour session. Okay. So let me first provide you a glimpse of my personal or my corporate Gmail account. So, okay. So here now, as you can see, I am chatting with Danny. Okay. So wala naman masyadong sensitive sa aming email here. So okay lang. This is more of our work. So as you can see, medyo crowded ang ating email. So to start with, I have first to get off my my video so I can stream further much better. Okay, so here's my email address. No, so as you can see, everyone, no, since we have our corporate account, you will see your logo here. Maybe you have DSW logo here. So that will introduce you that you are using a corporate email based on your domain, the dswd.com, .gov.ph. So the basic use, of course, of your email is more on organizing your communications. So if you can see sa ating left side, ito yung madalas nating gamitin, but siguro hindi nyo pa na deep dive ano yung mga particular na nakita nyo dito sa aking screen. So as you can see, you have some folders here. It is called, by the way, it's label here. This is one way of organizing your emails, especially if you are bombarded with thousands of emails every day. No? Then, on your primary space for your email, you will see I have here a primary, I have the social, promotion, and updates. So what are these tabs? So I organize my email based on category. But before that, let me start first with some labels, labeling your email. So what is the importance of labels? This is one way of organizing your email in such a way it can tag any particular email into as a folder or a subfolder. Also, you have here some start. It's part also of filtering. Then you have also a snooze, meaning to say this is an email that are supposed to have an alert so that you can schedule that in any way you want. So if you have a particular email that you want to schedule, let's say tomorrow morning, you can have it here, you can tag it here so that it will automatically send when the time comes. So to provide you a simple introduction or a simple way to filter out your email, all you have to do is, okay, let me check this out, is go to your settings. So everything that controls your emails is under your settings. Huwag niyong kakalimutan to. And don't be afraid to tinker around because as you know, Google is user friendly and very intuitive, so you don't have to worry so much. So if I can see all the settings here, you will be welcomed by general labels, inbox, etc., etc. All you have to do is to tinker it around, look for the information that you would like to change. So in my case, I'm on my general settings under my domain. So you can see here, you can tap around with the language you want to have, either in English or in Filipino, since Google naman has its own multi-language support. So you can also maximize your page output. Let's say gusto mo up to 100 in one setting, or kung gusto ka nagtitipid, just play with 20, 30, or up to 50. Okay. Then so much here. You can also activate yung mga external images, yung mga attachment kung gusto mo. Pero pag ayaw mo, you can turn it off. Okay. Of course naman, by built-in, by default, you have a grammar check, spelling, and sometimes yung naka-on yung autocorrect. So pag napapansin nyo, once na nagtatype kayo, auto-fill up siya. So hindi ka na mahihirapan. Actually, ito ang pinaka-favorite ko yung Smart Compose, because it's predict what you are trying to write, especially if you're trying to communicate in English. You will be provided by automatic word suggestions. So it would give you a more and fast fast drafting your letter, something like that. Then of course, meron din siyang personalization. So nasa styles, nasa sayo na yan kung paano mo siya gawin. Okay. The rest are, you can have it sub-study, no? So here pala, no, naglagay ako ng avatar ko, yung profile pics. So you can insert that. Then of course, you have here your signature. So lahat naman siguro tayo, kasi napapansin ko, if I'm communicating with the DSWD, may mga signature na yung nakalagay. So I don't have to discuss this further unless merong mag-suggest sa inyo or mag-ask ng question to explain further about that area. Okay. So kanina, nabanggit ko about labels. So here we are on labels. Okay. So ito yung sa inbox mo, no? So as I shown you kanina sa aking dito sa my left portion, ito yung nakalagay. You can hide it, you can show it. It's up to you. It depends with your own prerogative. It's a matter of choice. Okay. So we have here some categories that you can also hide and show. Then we have here yung kanina, mga labels. You can easily create labels now based on your own workflow. So since sabi ko nga, I am the project manager, so I handle several projects under our company. So I organize those labels by project. So I have here by Akamai, I have my DICT, some project on DSWD, etc., etc. So here, meron siyang subcategory. So under DSWD, you can do subcategory. So I have here Google Training, Google Workspace Seminar, etc., etc. So ganun lang po kabilis mag-organize ng mail. So sa mga magtatanong, paano mag-create ng labels? So andito po, may button siya. All you have to do is to click on that, create the name of the label, let's say sample label. Then if you like it to be under a subcategory, you have to click on next, then select your parent. No? Bahala ka kung saan mo siya gusto idagdag. But kung nasa top level siya, no need to click on the next. Then create. Ganun lang siya kadali. Okay? For the inbox, ito yung nakikita ko kanina, no? Yung primary email ko, etc., etc. Now, ito yung some choices. Actually, I can take this off muna to show you so that I can see only my primary emails. So don't forget to save it here sa baba, or else any changes that you made, hindi po yung mag-activate. Okay, so I'm saving now. So let me see our primary email. Let's see. Browse natin. Okay, may naligaw tayong cryptocurrency. Okay, so ito yung primary email ko, no? Wala nang iba. So lahat yan jumbled. But kanina, balik tayo sa settings. Kailangan kong i-organize siya in such a way ma-update din ako ng aking social media accounts kasi meron din naman akong mga what we call that subscription. Mahilig kasi tayo sa mga subscription, no? Especially if we have account on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. You can have organized by providing you a category. Then, pwede mo rin siyang idagdag as start in the primary, or you can take it off. Then, sometimes we receive so much, what we call that, ads or promotions from third-party suppliers and vendors na nakakapagdagdag dun sa mga important emails natin on our primary. So, para ma-filter out siya, all you have to do is to activate this, no, promotions. Then, if you have some forums to, may mga internal forums, external forums kung subscribe, you can also include here. But in my case, pinatay ko na muna siya because I'm so much of information na coming from our on my personal mail. So I just click on updates also because these are updates that needs to be addressed immediately. So nilalagay ko rin siya. But for this demonstration, I just take this off to show you ano mangyayari. So save changes. Okay, so I've here my primary email, then lahat ng mga social network. Yan, sama-sama na sila. Then some promotional materials coming from suppliers here. Okay. So ganun siya ma-organize. So it's part of sorting out your email para hindi ka bombarded with some unnecessary Then of course, mamaya kailangan kong ibalik ang aking updates. So I will be in constant updates with my primary email. Okay. Need to save that again. Okay. So here, yung mga latest updates. So every time na mayroong bago, dito siya pumapasok. Okay? Then, what else we can find on the general settings? We have here accounts. So here, medyo exciting to para sa inyo since, as you can see, I can send multiple email address in one Gmail or one email account. So how can I do? How would you do it? No, in your case. So under your account, you will see your primary as default. This is my work email. No, Ivan Resources. Then, since the company is also a group of companies, I also handle some of the project with massnet.com. So here, massnet.com. So I maintain this email, and this one is for the support. No, but what I can do is I can easily use different email in one email source. So ito yon. Ito yung ginagamit natin. Later on, I will provide the demo. Now, if you like to add another email address, let's say you want to combine your corporate email with your personal Gmail account. So what I can do is click on that, then a pop-up will suffice. Okay, I have to share this tab here. Kita nyo? Yan. So add another email address that you own. So in my case, I will add another email address, my personal Gmail address, chardgrimaldo@gmail.com. So I can treat that as an alias, then follow the next step. Because after that, it will automatically provide you a SMTP configuration. All you have to do now is to provide the password. Then after that, pag na-recognize ni Google and also your credentials correct, automatically mag-a-add na siya dito. But before that, a confirmation email will be sent to chardgrimaldo@gmail.com confirming that you want to add that particular email to this corporate email. Okay? So, i-cancel na natin to. Oops, sorry. Nawala ang aking presentation. I have to do that again. Okay, so we're back on track. So that's the way you can add multiple emails in one setting. No? Then, of course, ito nga pala, very important to since you want to monitor especially your disk space on Google Drive. So every one of us now has a 30 gigabyte. No, we have to maximize this effectively. No, we have to maximize this effectively because you're using your corporate Google account. So, but if you have your personal email, you can put whatever you want. So as of now, no, I use already 61% out of my 30 gigabyte capacity. Okay? So sa inyo din, makikita nyo na rin yan. You can browse right now on your own Gmail account and look for this. Ngayon, pag medyo napupuno na yan at malapit na talaga, siguro mga 5% na lang, it's about time that you have to request an upgrade from ICTSI. No? Sila ang nag-handle sa ganyan. Okay, so here, after the account, you have here the filters and block address. So, gumagamit ba kayo ng filter? May fini-filter ba kayo ng mga email address, etc.? May binablock ba kayo ng email address na parang cellphone, no? Sa cellphone, may bablock kang number para hindi ka na masendan ng text or whatsoever. Same with your social network. Ganon din siya. So, here, ganon din ang features niya. You have to create your own filtering. So, in my case, I created a filter na nagmamatch with this particular email address. No? Then, with the topic of cPanel, mga brute force protection. So, ginagawa ko siya. Let's try to take an edit para makita natin yung features. So the process would be, you have to identify what particular email na gusto mong i-filter out. So in my case, ito yung email address, no? Tapos, if you like or if you know the usual email subject area that is being sent to you every now and then, so ilagay mo rin siya dito. But you can filter out also in a particular word. Let's say meron kang isip na lahat na ayaw mo ng mga merong lumalabas mga nagse-sell, selling. Pag nakita nila yung word na selling na yan, isasama siya sa yung filter. Okay. You can also filter out yung mga sizes ng file na attachment. So by MB, no? By KB or by bytes. Then after that, you continue and automatically it will create a filter. So same thing din, no? Wait, nawala na yata ang aking ano. Tanggalan natin sa cache. Let's go back to our settings. Okay, so filters. So filters, na-delete ko na yata. Okay, andito pa. So create new filter. No? Gaya ng sinabi ko sa aking example kanina, check nyo na lang kung ano yung particular field na gusto nyong gamitin to create a filter. So, pag nag-create ka ng filter, let's say, after you fill out this field, itatanungin ka kung anong gusto mong mangyari doon. You have to secure kung saan siya mapupunta, on your primary inbox, on your spam, on your whatever. Ikaw nang bahalang mag-create kung saan. So that's why meron ako ditong mga na-filter out sa aking left side. And the good thing about this, no, Google is spam free. Why? Because it actually it's not spam free. Sorry to say that, but it filter out all your email spams. Meaning to say, mga unnecessary, unnecessary mga emails na may pagka-spam yung yung nature. So automatically detected yan by the Gmail engine, and automatically it filters out to your spam folder. So pag mapapansin mo, meron ka diyang spam. You have to click more. Yan. So far, at present, I have 42 spams. So hindi na natin minsan pinapansin yan, no? Kasi hindi naman siya madalas na nakikita natin kasi it is filtered out. So as you can see, ang daming mga nagki-create ng username siguro to sa isang website, no? Na minamanage ko, tapos it automatically So now I see mayroong uma-access sa website na siguro na create ko, then nagki-create ng user. So para na tong ini-spam. Okay? So you can also delete this, of course. You just click on that or select all or delete all spam messages now. Kasi by default, you have 30 days for your spam emails to automatically deleted. It's the same also with your trash. Here. Yan. You have here trash. So, if by mistake at hindi mo pala siya intended to trash, don't you worry. Kasi it will automatically reside on your trash folder and you are given a 30 days for Google to automatically delete all those trash files. So you can trigger an empty trash now, or you can just wait for 30 days to expire for your trash to be completely deleted. Okay. Okay, let's go back again to the settings so that we can finish those features. So tapos na tayo dito sa filters and block. Let me see if I have some other features that I can use. Wala na. Then sa forwarding of email, siguro naman madalas tayong gumagamit na nito, forwarding. No. So bakit natin ginagamit yung forwarding? This is also advantage if, let's say, I am using this particular email address and I have also has several email address na aking binubuksan from time to time. But if I seldom use this particular email, in this case, my other email is Chard, I can forward this particular email to this corporate email, which is rgrimaldo@i1resources.net, so that I can combine this email and I can see instantly kung ano yung mga email na dumadating sa akin into email addresses. Right now, wala akong naka-integrate. No? I only have one account here na pumapasok. That's why isa lang siya. But if you are filtering or you are forwarding email, you can also arrange those by providing filters. So every email address that's coming from Richard@interstar.net will come to another folder or another labels. So isa lang ang tinginan mo. It will filter out or it will organize your two domain-based email. So I can disable or I can forward this email. If I'd like to provide a copy of my emails, I can provide it here, forward. So same thing din sa pag-add ng email address, pwede ka rin mag-add ng forwarding address. Then after that, you will be asked again, authorizing that you are forwarding a certain email address to that particular account. So meron dito isang tip dito, no? You can also forward only some of your mail by creating a filter. Okay. So this one for POP, no, and IMAP, again, meron siyang instruction, especially if you are configuring this to your mobile. But as the Google progress, if you want to integrate your Google or your corporate DSWD account to your mobile, yes, it can be. Napakadali na po. All you have to do is dun sa account, just add your email address, provide the credential, and that's it. You can add multiple emails there. So, easy access. Mas mabilis na. So, kung mapapansin nyo nga, no, if you have several email address and you want to go from one email to another, what you can do is to click on this upper portion here and click on that, and it will provide you several email address that you can log in or log out immediately. Okay? Then kanina napansin nabanggit ni Sir Danny about add-ons. So these are third-party applications or extension to your email. So you can subscribe or hindi. So meron ditong advanced mode, no? You can enable the auto advance para magamit mo siya. Then may mga kung gusto kang gumamit ng templates for day-to-day communication, you can also enable that. Then of course, sa mga mahihilig ng shortcut keys, you can also do that, no? Ang magkaiba lang talaga ng mga keys, no, pag if you are using a Mac and a Windows, magkaiba po ang shortcut keys niyan. No. Then the chat, no, by default it is on your side, but actually you can move it from left to the right. So wag kayong matatakot, all you have to do is to go to your settings, just read the instruction, and that's it. Everything is explanatory, and you can easily adapt on it by studying it very well. Now, if you are working offline, no, you have to activate that. You have to contact the administrator, the ICTSI, to help you provide a network-wide offline version. Then you have Teams here, ito yung nakikita nyo, iba-ibang kulay. Yeah. You have to set the theme. Sa chat and meet naman, ito yung mga settings. Okay? You can turn it on or off. So right now naka-on siya, mapapansin mo dito. Then yung meet, nakalagay na siya. So mapapansin nyo by default during the upgrade from the G Suite going to Workspace, unti-unting nag-migrate si Google and ini-introduce nila yung mga features na to. Kaya napapansin nyo, uy, ano ba to? Merong Meet, no? Then nagkaroon tayo ng Hangouts. Actually, yung Hangouts na rebrand na, it's Google Chat na kung tawagin. So I also like to discuss more info about that. It's already 2:36, siguro may extend tayo ng konti. So sa Hangouts, ito yung in a form of chat, ito yung chat natin. You can expand this also by going to chat meet.google.com. So we have also here yung Google Meet. So instantly, you don't have to go from one application to another, but rather integrated na siya within our Gmail platform. So by having Meet here on the left side, you have instant access. Let's say I have to create a new meeting. Yan. Automatically magpa-pop up siya. Okay. Yan. Then after that, you have to send the invitation. Okay. Then let's go back to my Gmail. You have also my meetings. Ito yung current na meetings mo. Yung mga naka-scheduled na meeting. Okay, I have to click on that. So right now, ito yung activity ko for today. So I have to join the meeting. Ito na nga, magkakasama na tayo. Then at my other meetings, andito na rin sa baba. So bukas naman to. So lahat ng mga nag-schedule sa akin ng meetings, naka-arrange na here. Later on, the following day, i-discuss natin yung Meet much further. So, since our topic is only a Gmail, so mga pahapyaw lang muna to. So, on your right naman pala, integrated na rin dito si calendar. Okay? We will also discuss that. No? So, ang kasama sa ating topic for the day is yung keep and task. Okay. So, let's try on keep. So, saan ba natin ginagamit si keep? Ginagamit niyo ba ito madalas during your communication with your office mate, etc., for your personal? Okay. So, sa keep is basically a note-taking. So, ito yung mga dati kong mga ginawa. No? So, I created new docs. Ito, just click on take a note, then provide some information. Then, of course, pwede mo siyang i-archive, i-delete, and whatsoever. Now, the good thing about this is it gives you a mode of tracking your immediate task or a reminder. That's why meron kang kine-create na note. So instead na, ay sandali, I'm taking a note, pwede na rito. Actually, while I am discussing, if you want to organize yourself with taking a note, you can use this. So whatever I explained, you can write it here, etc., etc. Then, tulad nito, I can pin a note also. Yan. Then, if I'm done, I can click on this. Yan. Yan. Gusto sabihin, tapos ko na yan. Okay? Done na. I also can create a list. So, it's up to you kung up to how many lists you would like to create. So, katulad din siya nito. Okay? You can also insert an image, something like this, para medyo presentable. Now, kung gusto mo siyang makita in a larger proportion, you have to open this in a new tab. So, i-open po natin. Okay. So, ganito ang itsura niya. So, para kang may mga nakapin doon sa yung whiteboard in a form of notes. So, ganun din ang ginagawa natin pag meron tayo mga planning. Yung dati nating ginagawang face-to-face, kailangan nating mag-convene sa isang room. Then, meron tayong whiteboard. Then, yung mga lahat ng mga suggestion, etc., ipapasulat ng ating resource speaker. Then, ididikit natin yan sa board para as a reminder. So, if you are familiar with Scrum, madalas gamitin ito, batuhan ng mga notes, etc. Now, for visual presentation, you can open that in a much bigger view like this. Then you can also add some notification or reminder or appointment. You can label that. So, halimbawa, itong DSWD preparation batch 4, okay, I can add a remind me by clicking on the remind me button. Lakihan po natin ng konti para kita natin. Yan, remind me button. So, it is scheduled on May 3. Kaso lang tapos na pala to. No? So, tapos na rin yung aking reminder. So, you can click on remind me. Tapos, schedule the time. Kung gusto mo, may repetition or you can have it on a daily basis. You can also collaborate with your office mate. So what you can do is just add your email addresses. Yan. Add ka lang ng email. Let's say kay Sir Ben. Add mo lang siya. Yan. Automatically yan. Save. Ganun lang. Then, also, you can create some colors. Baguhin natin purple. Yan. Then, you can insert also an image para kita naman. Then, select from different images that you have. So, right now, meron akong pagkain. So, gusto ko siyang i-insert dyan. So, automatically, yan, na siya. Nakasama na siya dun sa aking presentation. Okay? You have here also a form of archive. So lahat yan kung gusto mong ayaw burahin, i-archive mo lang. Then yung mga labels, you can do and create new labels kasi it would depends on your workflow. Depende on how you organize your keep yung mga notes mo. So, ito yung mga na-identify ko na magagamit ko. I just create a new label, then done. Then, after that, if I create a new note, no, kailangan ko rin siyang ilagay sa label para siya ma-organize. Add label, select ako, halimbawa, training. Yan. So, automatic mapupunta siya doon sa aking training label. Dito siya mapupunta. Okay. Let's take a note. Title first, of course. Gawa ka ng title. My training schedule. Please, blah, 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 blah. Ano lang. Then, na-identify na natin yung location ng aking labels. Meron na nga pala, no, sa ano. I can also provide reminder, no? Kung gusto ko, i-remind ko na lang myself by tomorrow. Okay. Yan. Then after that, close. Let's check. Trainings. Andito na po ang aking training. Okay? So, ganun lang po kasimple pag-a-arrange ng ating keep or note-taking. So let's go naman, balik tayo doon sa ating task. So ano naman ang different ng note sa task? So helpful din naman siya kasi ito yung mga list ng mga ASAP mong tatrabahuhin. So you can create your own mga list na ASAP, no? Then after that, if you're done, let's say tapos na to, 4 days ago na pala nag-expire. So I just click it and mark it as complete. So this is a way of tracking all your tasks, especially kung you're working in too many hats, no? Tapos marami kang mga assignment at the same time marami ka pang responsibilities. So organize your activities by creating a task. So again, what you can do is you can also sort it, no? Provide some dates in advance. So just like the note, magandang add-ons din siya dito sa ating Gmail account. Okay. Then dito sa contacts, no, pahapyawan na rin natin since it is already integrated here. wala din sa topic natin. Extend lang natin, no, hanggang mag-3. Sa contacts, ito yung part to organize all your contact information na nasa Gmail. So lahat yan, ma-organize mo dito. You can search, no, mas mabilis. Then after that, you can compose email. Now, one question na madalas itanong sa akin, no, can contacts has the capability also to collaborate? Yes. Sabi ko nga, within the Google application, you can collaborate. Kasi it is now considered as integrated platform. And parang siyang isang ecosystem for communications and collaboration. So, here, kung gusto mo siyang lakihan, again, you can expand. Yan. So, mapapansin nyo, no, lahat ng mga contacts ko are arranged by alphabetically. No? So, lahat na yan. So, you can also filter out yung directory mo and provide some labels. So, dati, nakapag-demonstrate ako dito, also with DSWD, and I already provided some filtering. So, gumawa ako ng labels ko na DSWD contact. So, if I click on this, meron akong finilter si Ma'am Wendell. So, automatically siya mapupunta dito sa akin. Kasi ito yung na-create ko. Okay? Then, sa Sir Ben, ito lang yung mga sample. You can create the labels gaya ng pag-create nyo ng labels doon sa Gmail. And again, from export to import, so, self-explanatory. Import, meaning to say, kailangan mong magdagdag ng mga accounts from one, maybe, email account na dinownload mo as CSV file, upload mo rito. Export also para ma-save mo, para ma-transfer mo from one equipment or gadget to another. Okay. You can also merge and fix para walang duplicates. And again, yung kanina sabi ko, you can also collaborate. Hanapin ko ulit, no? Minsan nalilito ako dito. Hindi ko makita yung collaboration with your colleagues. If you want to, ito pala, yan, delegate access. Meaning to say, magagamit mo to in some cases, like, especially, kunwari, si Director, Director Abubuyog, meron siyang sandamakmak na mga email addresses, but the problem is, wala siyang mga phone number. No, very important. Kailangan may phone number, tapos ano yung company na connected yung particular email address na yon. So since wala akong time, meron naman akong secretary na I can delegate my work. So pag binigyan ko siya ng access, delegate access, yan, parang sharing din yun, na invite, delegate, just put on the email address, then bam, automatically makaka-receive siya ng email notification that she is being invited by director ganito to collaborate on his contact details. So ngayon bibigyan na ngayon ni Sir ng instruction para i-fill out yung mga kailangan na mga data. Okay? That's the contact. Let me go back to the email. What else we have here? So you can also add add-ons. Ito yung sinasabi ni Sir Danny kanina na there are plenty of third-party add-ons that you can integrate. So mga depende yan sa use, no? Kung ito ay for office office or collaborative application that you want to integrate within Gmail, yan, pwede. Kasi siya mismo ang magdadagdag. So here pala, these are third-party application that you can integrate, no? You have Zoom, Cisco, Trello, Depende. Slacks. Yan, Asana. Kung nasa project management ka, no, kabisado mo yung Asana. So this is a form of organizing your team and doing some collaborative work also. Yan. Dropbox, etc., etc. So, ang kailangan mo lang dyan, just click on that, then install. Automatic yan, mag-integrate sa'yo. So, makikita mo siya dito yan, lalabas yan dito. And sometimes, during the composition, pag compose mo ng email, no, pag meron kang mga add-ons, sometimes lumalabas yan dito. Then, since nabuksan ko na pala tong email, no, I just want to emphasize yung example na kanina na sinabi ko, na let's say I have here a multiple email address. So kung meron akong gustong padalhan ng email address, di na ako kailangan mag-open ng particular email. Dito na kaagad. So ito yung aking current ko, ito yung by default, no? Yan ang by default kong address. Pansinin nyo, pag nag-compose ako, I need to transfer from one domain, I1 resources, to Massnet. That's another domain. So I click on that, and automatically nagbago na rin ang aking signature dito. Then, go. Automatically, ang recipient makaka-receive na yung email na yon galing from rgrimaldo@massnet.com.ph. Okay? So madali na po mag-transfer from one email to another, especially if you are collaborating with your internal, no? Halimbawa, may mga group mails kayo, pwede mo na siyang idagdag dito. Okay. So I think the floor is now open for your questions. Yan lang muna ang aking i-discuss, no?
Okay po. So that's all for the Gmail. Meron po ba tayong katanungan or clarifications on the use of our Gmail? Opo. Ayan, sa atin pong chat box, tinitingnan ko lang din po kung meron tayong katanungan. But I think more on of concern po from Ma'am Elma, by when po kaya sir ang recording capacity? We badly need it na po.
Yes po. As per the current subscription nyo, meron kayong renewal, no? Maybe this year, last quarter. Tama, Sir Ben, no? Last quarter pa to, no? Upgrade.
Yes, sir. So, ayun po, dagdagan ko na lang din po yung nabanggit ni Sir Richard. Yung current subscription po kasi natin ay, to be specific, yung unlimited storage po natin ay, ang current subscription po natin doon ay 500 licenses lang po. Since ang intention po namin noon ay bigyan ng unlimited storages yung mga execom natin, mancom natin, and our OBS email accounts, including field offices po. So, since based nga po dito sa current experience natin na kulang po yung licenses na yun, in-update po natin yung TOR natin for 2021. So, hopefully by November 2021 po, ma-acquire na natin yung additional licenses and we'll provide information to OBS na rin po kung para maghingi ng mga users or personal siguro ng mga email accounts nila na ipapa-upgrade po yung mga storages nila. So, bear with us sa current subscription po natin kasi po until November 2021 pa po ito.
Ayan. Thank you, sir, for the update. Okay, I think this is more on comment. So, napapanahon ang label, very timely. So, that's according kay Sir Melvin. And, ayan. So, from Sir Vincent, John Balmaceda, how about po yung Boxby na app? How effective ba yun to filter emails?
Alin po, sir? Come again?
Boxby?
Boxby.
Apo.
Yung Boxby kasi third party siya, pero ang problem doon is you need to facilitate pa yung providing providing permission. 'Di ba? Pag ginamit mo yung box B na yon, automatically minsan hinahanap mo kung nasaan yung email mo, napunta na pala sa box B. Kasi yung box B parang finifilter out niya pag hindi siya parang first time niya nagpadala box B. Pero pag pag inauthorize mo na siya as parang legit na email, automatically pupunta na siya doon sa iyong inbox na talaga. Pero ginamit ko rin 'yon nung box B, pero tinanggal ko na yung extension na 'yon kasi I've been looking for that particular email. Ang sabi sa akin napadala ko na, pero hindi ko siya ma-search. Yun pala nasa loob ng box B. Yun ang disadvantage.
Okay po. Sige sir, salamat po. Another po is how to put the meet, sir. Currently wala po sa setup. How to put the meet. Google Meet po yata ang tinutukoy dito.
Wala ko yung makitang meet dito sa sa left side. Yun ba ang tinutukoy niyo, ma'am?
Okay. Ma'am Elms, could you clarify po yung question po?
Yes, sir. Wala po. Currently, ang meron lang po ay Hangout.
Hangout. Ma'am, i-check nyo po dun sa settings, katulad nung sinabi ko kanina, baka naka-off.
Okay, sige po.
Buksan ko po ulit, ma'am, ha? General labels.
Sir Richard, dun sa sir? Sa chat and meet na tab.
Ay, dun pala. Sorry.
Okay na, sir. Na-enable ko na po.
Na-enable mo na. O, yan, ma'am. Okay. Sige, thank you.
Thank you po. Ma'am Charmaine, meron kayong clarification? Personal notes? Ano po ito? Question? Ano po yung question natin regarding this? Ma'am Charmaine Hintapa? Okay. Baka po...
Ano lang sir, baka comment lang siguro dun sa Google Keeps natin.
Okay.
Kasi, di ba sir, virtual notes ko, sticky notes kumbaga. Yes.
Okay. Sige po. Another po, I think this is a suggestion. I think more sa ICTM, Sir Ben. Sana daw po technical staff po yung, I think this is in relation po dun sa storage. Since
Yes,
Exicom decision makers, we should ask also sino may critical role among staff to be issued with unlimited storage.
Yes sir, yun po yung nasa plan namin na kung sakali man pong acquire namin yung additional unlimited storages po na licenses, we'll inform yung OBS po for them to determine yung mga ano po ba yung term power users ba natin sa DSWD email accounts para po mabigyan natin sila ng unlimited licenses po, or unlimited storages po.
Okay po. Thank you, sir, for your clarification. Another po is from Sir John. Using taskbar is good at scheduling priority tasks at may auto alarm din po ba ito? To let you know na dapat ay nagawa ang task as scheduled.
Well, actually, yung task kasi, ano mo siya personal list mo siya. No? So yung buksan natin ng mas malaki para makita natin. Punta lang ako sa task.google.com. Wala, error siya. Hanggang dito lang talaga siya sa list. Wala siyang expansion. Oo.
Wala siyang extension.
So personal task mo lang to, ma'am. From time to time, that's why yung reason niya kung bakit andito siya, gusto mo lang i-remind sa sarili mo na do I have some task to perform? Gusto ko lang siyang i-update. So every time na may makompleto ka, ma'am, i-click mo lang naman siya as mark this as complete. Ang meron po tayong alert, yung notes. Yung dito po, sa keep. Okay na po?
Yes, sir.
Ayun,
Yes, sir.
additional lang din siguro, Sir Jason, sa input po ni Sir Richard. Based on personal experience, gumagana po yung notification din ng task as long as may Sir Richard, can you show us yung pag-set ng task kasi may nakalagay dong date.
Add task?
Sir, yung edit mo, sir. Yes, sir. Kung mag-add task ka, sir.
Ayan.
Yan. May nakalagay po kasing date and time doon. So kung nag-set po tayo ng date to notify us, ang account phone,
Ayan pala.
notify po
Tama.
date and time po na na kailangan siya kung naka-enable din po stock notification po natin sa computer, nag-a-alarm din po yun. Sa akin kasi naka-off yung sa desktop notification kasi maraming alert yung nangyayari sa akin. Doon sa phone ko na lang siya observe na nagno-notify naman po as long as ma-set nyo po yung date and time. So sa task pwede po yun.
Okay.
Lalo po pag marami tayong reports to submit. Actually sa akin, monitoring po yung nilalagyan ko ng alert. So pagdating po ng date na yun, mabilis ko na lang pong ma-facilitate yung report. So yun.
Yun, tama yun. Sir Ben, thank you. I stand corrected. Ito kasi bihira kong magamit. That's why napansin nyo kanina, nag-overlap na. Hindi ko siya nalagyan ng alert at hindi ko siya in-schedule. So tama po yun. Nasa kanya-kanyang paggamit po to, prerogative ng bawat isa. Kasi may mga sanay na merong mga notification, minsan sa computer, sa desktop, and sometimes sa mobile. Pero pag madalas na kasi na laging may nag-a-alert sa'yo, minsan nakakadisturbo, di ba? So, pero kung meron ka talagang inaabangan, i-prioritize nyo na lang ano yung specific na gusto mong lagyan ng alert para i-remind ka. Okay.
Okay po, meron pa po yan. Thanks daw po from Sir John. Okay, meron pa po bang karagdagang katanungan? Okay, Sir Richard, meron pa po ba kayong presentation?
Meron pa naman. Diretso ba natin?
Okay, tanungin lang po natin ang ating mga participants kasi it's 3 o'clock.
Oo.
Okay lang po ba tayong mag-extend? Mga Sir Richard, gaano po katagal pa yung inyong pong presentation?
Actually, sinusundan ko lang yung topic for the day na ibinigay sa akin.
Apo.
But kung meron pa kayong ample time and you don't have...
For the drive, I think, sir. Apo.
Sige, Google Drive natin ang isunod.
Okay po. So, mga gaano po, sir, katagal yung discussion nyo po on drive?
Siguro mga additional 30 minutes to 1 hour, depende sa participation ng bawat isa. Kaya ba?
Okay.
Kaya ba po?
Sige po, tanungin po natin ang ating mga participants. Can we have an extension po, let's say, 30 minutes? Okay lang po ba? Can you chat po your responses?
Okay, so meron ng
Ayan.
tatlo.
Ayan.
Okay. Sige.
Medyo marami po. But can we have po a 5-minute break po muna? Baka po...
Ay, sige po.
Ano na kasi namin training. Tapos certified Google Educator pa siya. Wala siyang idea sa app natin.
Hello, Sir Ben.
Google Educator yun.
Sir Ben.
Compared dun sa past.
Hello, Sir Ben. Okay. Sige po. So, let's have a 5-minute break. So, it's 3:05. Balik po tayo at 3:10 para po sa ating continuation on the Google Drive. So, we will have an extension of 30 minutes po. Okay. So, thank you po. Balik po tayo ng
5 minutes.
3:10. Okay po. Salamat.
Yeah, nakita ko sa
Okay,
video.
so, palitan mo naman nila. Sa tao lang ba yung kausap mo?
Ayan. So, natapos na po ang ating 5-minute break. So, Sir Richard,
Yes,
so
I'm
we
here
will
na.
continue po in the next 30 minutes. Yun pong ating presentation on the Google Drive. Thank you, sir. Go.
Okay, i-share ko lang ulit yung screen ko.
Actually, sir, nakashare po kayo. Ayan.
Okay. Let's open my drive. Okay. So habang naglo-load, no? So basically, one of the primary application na kailangan natin is yung Google Drive. Bakit? Kasi dito natin lahat ilalagay yung mga files na gusto nating i-store for future use. So same thing din as organizing our Gmail, ang kailangan din natin siyang i-organize in such a way na madali silang ma-find. Since ito yung corporate drive ko. So ang ginawa ko dito is I have to organize my file based on folders. No? Since meron naman tayong power search, madalas naman natin itong gamitin. So madali lang naman siyang i-search, pero mas maganda kung meron ka lang talagang particular na folder kung saan mo siya ino-organize. Again, this is an integrated and a collaborative platform then wherein you can share particular folder to your colleague. Let's say for an instance, itong event, no? So, para ma-share mo siya, kailangan mo lang gamitin ang iyong share button. So, share this event, no? Then, automatically, yung mga email address na kung kanino mo siya gustong i-share, pwede mo na siyang gamitin. But, let me remind you na meron tayong nakalagay dito na restricted only within the organization. So, I can email a particular person, pero from let's say email ko sa DSW dito, no? So I will provide Sir Ben an editor or a commenter or just a viewer. Kung meron lang akong i-share at gusto ko lang naman niyang makita, I can invite him as a viewer only, not as an editor, or else yung files ko baka magalaw. Yan. But if you are working within the same organization, what you can do is you click on your organization site, then you can provide this particular access. Anyone in this group with this link can view, meaning to say within my organization. But if I'd like to share this to anyone with this link, pwede naman. Babaguhin mo lang ang access privilege nila if you are a viewer or you are an editor or a commenter. No? Just to be safe, no, lalo sa sharing with sensitive data, huwag natin pa kakalimutan kung anong klase ng permission ang ibibigay natin kung tayo ay mag-share. Although this is a very powerful features kasi you can easily collaborate with your peers, especially if you are working with folders or a document. Okay? So that. Okay. So sa storage space, no, automatically, no, it is within your account kung ilan na talaga ang storage capacity mo, that is across all the apps na kini-create mo. So dito, you can easily filter out also ano yung mga recent na mga files na binuksan mo. So if I click on that, yan, lahat ng mga files, no, under my recent. So halimbawa, meron kang ginalaw na document to 2 days or a day ago. So madali mo lang siyang i-find kasi recently lang. So pwede ka lang mag-browse from top to bottom and look for that particular file. Dati-rate, meron siyang, kasi meron tayong drive, no? Ang nakikita nyo ngayon, may drive. But yung mas advanced na subscription, meron din siyang shared drive. Dati-rate nakikita ko pa yun rito shared drive. Pero nung nag-migrate na to Google Space at nag-upgrade na rin yung pagdating sa commercial ng ng mga features na yon, nawala na siya. So hindi ko na siya makita rito. So in future subscription nyo, baka lumabas na yung shared drive. So ang purpose po noon is lahat ng mga files na talagang binibigyan mo ng access, yung mga peers mo or yung mga external collaborators mo, pwede mo siyang ilagay doon. Then on your drive, pwede mo siyang gawin na lang lahat ng mga personal na ikaw lang talaga may access. So madali mo nang i-transfer from one file to another. Then, here, andito rin yung mga calendars, keep, and task mo. So, may access ka pa rin instantly. So, based nga rin dun sa presentation na provide ni Danny, you can integrate so many files from one application to another. May experience po natin yan when we go to a particular application wherein we can share files coming from a drive. Coming from a drive, going to that application. Parang meron na siyang link, etc. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, doon sa email, di ba yung may mga email tayo na merong attachment, right? So, let me go back first to the my email. Kasi may mga attachment doon. Actually, yung mga files na tulad ng ganito, pwede mo siyang i-organize at makasave na siya doon sa Google Drive mo. Kasi dito kasi kalat-kalat yan So if you click on that, tapos pwede mo siyang buksan instantly or you can add to my drive. Yan. Tapos pwede mo siyang i-organize. Medyo mabagal lang yung internet ko. Dapat mag-pop up yan, then magkakaroon ng directory. Matagal lang. So actually medyo hindi siya natapos. Meron pa yan dito. So after my drive, meron pa rin panibagong location until such time makita mo yung particular folder. Okay? So pwede mo na siyang i-save sa drive mo sa particular na folder na gusto mo. So coming from email, coming from your email, then pag merong mga attachment at gusto mo na siya kaagad-agad na buksan at i-organize, automatically use that particular feature wherein you can share and organize yung files papunta dito sa drive. Okay. So aside from ano ba yung mga files na kailangan mo siyang i-store dito? Any files actually pwede rito. So that's why nga napupunuan tayo kasi if we use this particularly for personal, tapos lalagyan natin ng mga videos, malaki po ang nakukonsume ng video file, no? Pagdating sa storage. So as best practice, no, if you're using your company resources, gamitin na lang po natin to sa tama. Wag natin tambakan ng mga personal videos unless ito yung mga recordings nyo, no? Yung Meet pala, actually yung Meet, pag ginamit natin yon at meron ng recording capability, dito rin po siya nagsisave sa drive. So automatic po yan magki-create ng folder. Tapos yung recording, masisave na dito. Hanap lang po ako ng isang sample, no? Recording. Ito yung dati, nung hindi pa nag-i-expire na lahat tayo may recording capability. It recording, automatic po yan, nag-create ng folder. Tapos all na recorded, andito na po siya. Yan, pag bumalik na uli ang yung recording options. Okay? Yes, may question ba? May nagbukas ng mic?
Opo, Sir Richard. Opo, nakalagay lang po dito from Ma'am Elma. Kindly demo po sana kung paano po yung sharing ng uploading sa mga may only Google Drive like our division chip. So, pa-demo daw po ng sharing of uploading sa mga may only Google Drive.
Uploading. Okay, yung pag-upload po napaka-simple lang naman. It's either you drag the file coming from your desktop, or you can just click here sa new. Then you can upload a file using folder. Halimbawa, na-organize mo na yung files mo, lahat nilagay mo na siya. You can upload the folder. But kung particular file lang siya, ito lang pipiliin mo, just click on that. Then automatically mag-a-appear yung mga gusto mong i-upload. Then what you can do is choose the file, then open. Automatically po yung mag-a-upload dito sa iyong drive. Ngayon, gusto nyong depende po kasi kung may unlimited ka, no? Wala naman siyang limit basta kaya ng capacity. So kung just for example, mag-upload lang ako kahit anong file. Hanap lang ako na medyo mabigat-bigat sigurong file. Video. Wala, file na lang. Pinakamabilis, no? Pagkain. So mahilig tayo sa pagkain ngayon. Open ko lang yan. Automatically, mayroon tayo dito. Uploading na po yan. So yan. Download. Yan. Okay. Show location. Para makita natin kung nasaan. Mabagal. Okay. Hanapin natin yung download.jpg. Oops, nagbukas. Sandali lang. Yan. Close na natin kasi nakita na natin. Dito na siya, download.jpg. So same thing din po yan, ma'am. Halimbawa, video man yan. Kung may capacity ka, meron naman nakalagay dito na status, no? Kung complete na, magkakaroon na ng checkbox yan. Then you can find yung show file location kung hahanapin nyo na. Then from there, pwede mo na siyang i-transfer sa ang folder na gusto mo. Okay.
Okay, sir. May follow-up question lang din po, yung pong transfer of ownership din daw po. Paano daw po yun?
Transfer of ownership. Meaning to say, mag-a-add ka ma'am ng isang admin sa isang file, or yung let's say ang isang folder ba ay gusto mo ay pag-aari na ng iba, hindi na sa'yo, ganun ba yun ma'am?
Sir Richard, mas mainam siguro kung folders and files na lang siguro. Kasi sir, di ba pag transfer mo yung folder, yung laman nun hindi nalilipat. And kung file lang naman din yung transfer mo, sir, yung file lang din ang nalilipat ng ownership. Pakita mo na lang siguro, sir, yung difference.
So I think Sir Ben, yung question din po, kasi nga po di po ba yung atin pong mga division chip ang mayroong unlimited storage? So ang tanong po yata is yung pag-transfer ng ownership from technical to DC, kasi nga po sila yung may unlimited storage. capacity. So yun po yata yung tanong po. Yung pag-transfer ng ownership from the technical staff to division chief.
Yes, sir. Sir Richard, ganito po kasi yung concern na kumbaga parang alternative namin kasi limited lang po yung may unlimited licenses sa amin. So, ang ginagawa, ang nire-recommend po namin sa mga OBS, since division chiefs po ay may unlimited licenses, unlimited storage accounts nila, pinapagawan namin sila ng folder and then isi-share po nila yun sa mga colleagues nila under their division. And then, yung ina-upload po ng mga colleagues nila or yung mga personnel under their division ay nililipat po yung ownership ng file to their account para yung pag-consume ng storage ay kay division chief nga po na binabanggit ni Sir Jason.
Okay.
So, yun, sir.
So, naintindihan ko yung, yung process nyo. No?
Yeah.
So, mag-simulate na lang po natin siguro dito. Halimbawa, ako yung may unlimited, no? Na account. So, magki-create po ako ng folder. Yan, folder. Title na lang natin na unlimited. Limited.
Yes.
Folder.
Or project siguro, sir.
Yan, project. Tapos, ito, isi-share to dun sa mga division na.
Yes, sir. Kumbaga, let's say, yung account mo, sir, is account ng division chief.
Okay.
Na unlimited yung storage. And then yan, sir, i-share mo sa colleagues mo and then mag-upload sila and ita-transfer yung file ownership, sir, para yung ma-consume na file storage is sa'yo, sa account ko nung nag-upload.
Project. Kasi na ba yung ano ko?
Baka, sir, may ibang account ka pa, sir, na na may pwedeng pang demo.
Isa pang account, pang demo. Okay. Magbubukas pa ako dun sa aking personal account.
Kasi, sir, di ba, sir, ang file ownership is pwede lang within organization. Like, kung DSWD email lang din, sir, yung pwedeng mag-file transfer. Mag-change ownership.
Mag-change ownership.
Yes.
Isa lang ang aking email address. Yan ang problem.
Baka, sir, may demo account ka na or testing or lab accounts na pwedeng magamit.
Sino kaya? Unfortunately, wala akong ibang account. Pero ibang domain na kasi yun eh. Yan ang problem is eh.
Yes, sir. Okay lang yun. As long as lang yung change ownership na binabanggit ko, sir. Kasi kung like example, kung sa akin mo sinare ng folder niyan, hindi ako makapag-change ownership.
Mali. Pero magkaiba kasing domain yun eh. Try ko lang ha. Mag-login lang ako doon sa kapang account. Maglalagin ako sa aking Mastnet.
Ayun, sir, kung may more than one po kayong account doon, mas mainam sana.
Naku, wala. Mukhang imposible na yan. Kasi if we are looking on a domain base, yung ownership kasi yun dapat within the organization. So, hindi natin madedemo for now. Useless. No, useless. So, change. Actually, pwede mo naman kasing i-share. What you can do now is i-share lang niya yung drive folder ng unlimited. So, in our case, itong unlimited project na to. So, ang gagawin ko lang dyan, isi-share ko lang siya doon sa particular mga email address or pwede kong i-change to lahat ng may link within my organization I can provide edit, so I can transfer files. So once na yung link na to kinopy-paste ko at shinare ko sa inyo, you can easily transfer files dito na sa folder na to. So ang ginagamit na resources ko, ano yung capacity ko, internal capacity. So in my case ngayon, medyo mataas pa. So kaya pa niyang i-accommodate yun. Kung unlimited na ako.
So Richard, if I may, pwede kayong ako sir yung mag-demo.
Sige, sige.
So pag-grab na lang po ako ng screen, sir. Sirs, ma'am, madam, ako na lang po siguro yung mag-demo.
Yes, sir. Please.
Kasi pag-coordinate na lang po ako sa colleagues ko na may DSWD email account po para makita natin virtually kung paano po yung nangyayari sa change ownership. Try ko lang pong i-share yung screen ko. So as of now, kung makikita nyo po, ito po yung Google Drive ko for my BRM De Leon at DSWD.gov.ph. So gagawa siguro po ako ng test folder or test file share. Actually, meron na ako pero gawa na lang tayo ng bago. So initially, let's say ako po yung division chief and then mag-share po ako ng file sa mga colleagues ko para po ma-utilize yung unlimited storage po ng account ko. So, initially mag-create po ako ng folder, let's say project or STB project siguro. Yan. So, pag-create po ng folder, kung makikita po natin, yung me na owner po means yung nag-create po ng folder. So, ibig sabihin yung DSWD email account ko po. Ako po. So, pag pasok natin sa loob, blanco. And then sa folder po na ito, pwede po tayong mag-create ng subfolders like kung gusto niyo po project 1 and project 2 para po for example purposes lang po. Let's say baka po marami tayong projects under our division or mga tasks siguro, para lang po ma-utilize natin yung folder. So, ensure lang po natin na yung mga folders, sa folders wala pong problema, pero ang concern po natin na dapat yung mga folders is dapat ang owner pa rin ay yung division chiefs. O hindi tayo magka-problema sa permissions later on kasi yung owner lang po kasi ang may capability to manage the folders kahit po nandun siya sa, let's say, dito po sa example na to, yung STB division project na folder, kahit po kayo yung owner nung STB division project folder, pero pag yung subfolders po ay hindi sa inyo, pwede po yun natanggalin ni kung sino man po yung nag-create ng folder na yun, pwede niya pong, or may capability po siyang tanggalin siya under that STB division project na folder po. So, mas mainam po sana na kung may subfolders pa po kayo, mas mainam po na yung division chiefs po yung may-ari ng folder na yun. So, until dun sa laman po ng file. So, may nakausap po akong colleague sa ICTMS. I-share ko lang po yung folder na project 1. For example, purposes. I-share ko po kay Sir Neil para po makapag-upload siya ng file siguro na mabigat. So, initially, pwede kong i-share yung main folder po na na-create natin na ayan, STB division project. So, pwede ko po yan i-share directly kung sino po yung colleague ko. Pwede kay Sir Neil, kay Sir Shin. Yan, pwede pong ganyan. Or kung ayaw ko naman, I want to be more specific sa project, let's say project 1 or 2. So, gusto ko po sa project 1 lang siya may access para kumbaga mas maayos yung pag-manage ko ng mga files, hindi magulo. So gusto ko yung tao na to sa project 1 na siya mag-access. So pwedeng i-share lang po natin yung project 1 na folder. So i-share ko lang po ito kay Sir Neil, yung nakausap ko pong colleague ko kanina. share ko as editor para po makapag-upload siya ng file. Though pwede pong commenter lang o viewer lang. Kung gusto niyo pong viewer lang,
Tumahimik lahat, no?
pwede din para kumbaga ma-view niya lang yung file. Pero since doon sa concern po na mag-change po ng ownership, dapat po editor yung permission nila. So pwede po kayo maglagay ng message. This is for project 1 documentations. For ano ba? Sorry.
I-inquire sana ako sa Cebuana.
Let's say ganito na lang po siguro. So i-send ko lang po. Ayan. So kung makita po natin, kung i-check, pwede po natin i-check kung kanino po natin na-share yung folder na ito. So click lang po natin yung icon na to, yung parang may tao na icon with plus, or pwede po natin i-right click yung file or folder and then click share ulit. And then makikita po natin yung owner is ako, si Ben Renato De Leon, and then na-share ko po kay Sir Neil as editor po siya. So kung gusto ko po pong magdagdag, so maglagay lang po ako dito. Or kung gusto ko man pong tanggalin yung tao na yun, since wala na siya under my division, pwede ko po siyang tanggalin. So pwede ko po siyang i-remove or make owner. Ito na po yung concern natin. So idagdag ko na lang din po yung remove kasi hindi kumbaga constant na po sa atin na may changes din po sa personnel or sa staff. So kung gusto niyo pong tanggalan na permission yung tao na yon, so pupunta lang po tayo dito sa share and then i-remove po natin yung access para hindi na po nila ma-access yung file or folders. So yun po, sabihan ko lang po si Sir Neil para makapag-upload po ng file para po makita natin na may na-upload na siya. I-invite ko na lang din po siguro si Sir Neil dito para mas actual po yung pag-demo natin. Wait lang po.
Sir Ben, pwede po ba mag-raise ng question habang hinihintay
Sure,
natin?
while waiting ako.
Okay po. Sir, may tanong lang po, is there a way po to switch the drive from one account to another? Especially kung ang capacity ay kulang without necessarily logging out and logging into another account. This is from Sir John.
Yes po, pwede kayong mag-login from one drive to another using different account. Pero as a matter of practice, kung ano lang yung drive account on a particular email, yun lang ang maa-access mo. Unless i-invite mo yung isa pang account na magkaroon ka rin ng access doon sa particular na drive na dati mong ina-access. So pag bawat account meron po yan sariling Google Drive. So pwede ka rin mag-share ng meron kang access to that particular drive lalo kung parehas account mo naman. Yun lang po.
Sir. Sir John,
Sir
Ben, baka po may addition na po kayo.
Bali yun sir, yung sinabi nga ni Sir Richard, pwede ko pong mag-login pero pwede ka pong magdagdag. Kung makikita po natin, wait lang, pakita ko lang po dun sa presentation. Kung makikita niyo po may mga nakalagin sa akin like yung .NET ko po na account and yung mga testing account po na ginawa ko. or yung personal email ko din po nandito. So, pero yung sa storage po, wala pong, kumbaga, like, magdadagdag ba dun sa DSWD email account ko? Kumbaga, wala pong connection yun kahit kung mag-login tayo ng mas marami. So, ang pwede po siguro is yun nga po yung dinedemo natin na mag-change po ng ownership para po change natin yung ownership to the account na may unlimited storage po para may kumbaga mas ma-fully utilize po natin yung pagka-unli po ng account.
Okay, sir. Sir, pwede rin daw po ba mag-edit ng nakashare na nag-change ownership na? Pwede ka pa rin mag-edit ng document.
Yes, sir. Tulad nga po ng nabanggit ko kanina, i-check ko lang po ulit. Yan. Pakita ko lang po ulit. Nakikita niyo po ba yung share with people and groups na
Yes, sir.
Ayan. So, yun po. Since ako po yung owner and then nag-change ownership po ako, once po na nag-change ako ng ownership, let's say, I believe nandito na si Sir Neil, naka-join naman na siya. Sir Neil, ilipat ko po yung ownership sa'yo para po makita lang din nila. Yan. Make owner. So, yung 2022 natin. So, pag once na, ayan, so, nalipat na po natin yung ownership ng folder. So, kung makikita po natin, ang owner na po ng file ay si Sir Neil. And then ako po, editor lang ako. So, kumbaga, makakapag-upload po ako ng file, like, dito siguro, folder na lang siguro ulit. Ayan. So, as you can see, makakapag-create pa rin ako ng folder kasi may editor access po ako. Ayan. Yun nga lang, hindi na ako pwedeng mag-change ng ownership. Kasi po, doon sa yung sa folder po mismo, yung itong project 1 po na folder, since nalipat ko na po yung ownership kay Sir Neil. Ang pwede ko na lang pong ulit ilipat is yung na-create ko na folder under project 1 po na folder. So share ko po ulit, pwede ko po ulit ilipat ito kay Sir Neil. As long as ako po yung nag-create, ito na po yung example natin na pag-upload. So let's say since nandito na si Sir Neil, let's say si Sir Neil po yung kumbaga division chief and ako po yung nag-upload. So, kung makikita nyo po, ang owner na po ng folder is si Sir Neil. Yan. And then, itong folder po na ito, ako po yung nag-create. Kumbaga, let's say, nag-upload ako ng file. Let's say, kung may ma-upload ako na personal file ko dito for testing purposes. Ito siguro, yung IPCR ko na lang siguro for example purposes. Yan. So, let's say, yung project 1 or let's say example 1 natin is kumbaga pag-consolidate ba or pag-submit ng mga IPCRs natin kasi usually yun po yung ginagawa natin eh. Let's say submission ng IPCR sa division chiefs natin for checking purposes, pwede po yun or for consolidation purposes. So ngayon yung 115 KB po na file na to, magko-consume po yun dun sa account ko. Since, kung makikita po natin, ako po yung owner na kami. So, para po, yung storage na yun, let's say, gig po to, 1 gig. So, magko-consume po ito sa account ko. So, kung 30 gig lang po yung storage, mabigat po siya. So, para ma-utilize po natin yung pagka-unlimited ng storage ng account ng division chief po natin, kailangan po natin mag-change ownership. So, kung makikita niyo po, yung file, pag nag-upload po si user, or kung sino man po yung nag-upload, makikita po natin kung sino yung owner. So, nag-upload po si Sir Neil ng Microsoft Word po na file and Google Docs po na file. So, para po malipat yung PDF or yung in-upload ko na file, kailangan ko pong i-share ulit yung file. And then since nandito na po si Sir Neil, siya po yung owner nung folder na project 1, ilipat ko lang po yung ownership. So, click ko lang po yung editor, and then click ko lang po yung make owner. And mag-prompt po na, may prompt po na, yun nga, yung changing ng ownership. The new owner will be notified and could be removed. And could review. Kasi nga po, siya na yung owner mismo ng file. Siya na yung pinaka may control ng file. So, pag nag-guess po tayo, maglilipat na po yan ng ownership. So, pag click natin ng done, i-refresh lang po natin yung Google Drive, makikita po natin na yung PDF po na in-upload ko ay kay Sir Neil na po. And then yung file storage po na yon is malilipat, file storage consumption po na yon malilipat na po kay Sir Neil, which is siya po yung may unlimited storage account. Pero may permission pa rin naman ako dun sa file.
Hindi ka nang sasalita?
Kanina. Mamaya. Siya muna.
And may permission pa rin ako dun sa file as editor kung Microsoft document po ba yan. Though may capability po si owner ng file na palitan po ako. Sir Neil, if you may, pwede mo siguro ako, sir, gawin as viewer lang dun sa IPCR PDF na shinare ko or na in-upload ko. Sir Neil, please. Ko lang po ulit. So, check ko lang po yung permission kung nagbago na. Ayan. So, kung makikita nyo po, hindi ko na makita yung permission ko as shared. Kasi po yung si Sir Neil, binago niya po yung permission ko as viewer lang. So, kung makikita nyo po, meron ditong nakalagay na as owner to share. And then meron sa baba, you're a viewer and can share the document. So, ganun po siya. So, wala na po akong control dun sa file since yun nga po yung nalipat ko na po yung ownership ng document. So, pwede po nating i-click yung file to navigate yung details po ng document natin. Meron po ditong pwede nating i-right click and then view details. So, makikita na and then ayan. So, kung kailan po siya na-upload or kung kailan po siya na-modify. Ayan. So, ganyan po yung purpose ng change ownership. And then, yung 115 KB po na ito ay magko-consume na po sa account ni Sir Neil since nalipat na nga po yung ownership. So, yun po yung, kumbaga, quick example po natin ng change ownership or yung pag-utilize po natin ng unlimited storage po ng mga division chiefs natin. So, ganun po siya. So, mag-create lang po. Yeah. So, na-gets po yung yung pag-change po ng ownership.
Ayan. Maliwanag po ba yung ating katanungan about change of ownership? I think maliwanag na po. Ano po? This is additional question, sir, in relation po doon sa storage from Sir Sherbin. Yung subscription po ba natin by the member, meron po bang kasamang Google Cloud Storage or separate po? And kung meron po, combined po ba ang storage capacity ng drive storage and cloud storage or hiwalay?
Ayun, regarding po doon sa question po ni Sir Chervin, I believe nagkaroon na rin kami ng meeting tungkol dito. Ang pagkakaalam ko, sir, is hindi, parang kumbaga walang connection yung cloud storage sa drive storage. Kasi yung cloud ata is more on application kung may gusto po kayong i-develop na application na under or kumbaga in place po sa Google. Sir Richard, tama po ba yung pagkakaintindi ko or pagkaka-explain ko ng drive storage and cloud storage?
No, Sir Ben, tama po yan. Kasi sa mga nag-host ng mga website, lalo na yung gumagamit ng Google platform, yan po yung sa cloud. But for the G Drive, it's very particular para dun sa ating Google Workspace. So yun lang siya.
Yun, sir. So, kumbaga, sir, kung gusto po natin mag-acquire ng additional ng cloud storage po, I believe separate subscription po siya kung sakali.
Yes, tama po kayo dyan.
Ayan, sige po. I think nasagot na po yung katanungan. So, meron pa po bang question or query from our participants? Ayan, kay Ma'am Maiden. Clarification regarding notice that pops up when you change owner. The new owner will be notified and could remove you. You also might lose the ability to change your setting. Some people will lose access to this item unless this item is shared directly with them. Regarding the last sentence, will other people who previously had access to the folder or file lose access due to change of ownership?
Yun. Yun nga po, tulad nga po na nabanggit ko kanina, pag nag-change ownership po tayo, pag pag na-click po natin yung yes na pag-change ng ownership, automatically po editor tayo ng file, and then si owner na, yung bagong owner na po ng file, siya na po yung may capability or permission to manage kung ano man po yung gusto niyang gawin dun sa file. Pwede ka po niyang tanggalan ng permission para ma-view yung document. Pwede ka po niyang viewer lang, or pwedeng totaling hindi niyo na po ma-access yung file. So, pero with dun sa concern po na para lang ma-utilize po natin yung unlimited storage ng mga division keys po natin. So, kung magsasubmit po siguro ng mga bulk reports, doon po yun pwede. Para kahit tanggalin po kayo ng permission, at least nakapag-submit na po tayo ng kumbaga ng reports kung sakali.
Ayan, thank you, sir. Another po from Miss Dayan. How about Word file exceeding 32 MB when uploaded po with Drive? Nagugulo na po ang formatting and automatic na napuputol ang file. We can edit the same time na rin po.
Ma'am Dayan, pwede po pakiklaro yung 32 MB na file. Kasi so far, hindi po ba ito sa email?
Ma'am Dayan, would you please clarify your question po?
Hello po, Sir Ben.
Yes po.
Yung example po is 150 pages po na Word file po with pictures and ano po.
Ayun ma'am, kasi ma'am, ang pagkakalam ko si ma'am, hindi kasi totally match or kumbaga, hindi kasi totally equal si Google Docs and Microsoft Word. Tama po ba Microsoft Word, Microsoft Word sa mga formats and settings. Kaya may mga time po talaga na nababago yung format. Lalo na po pag like yung mga word formatting, like yung mga fonts natin. Meron po kasi mga fonts setup na meron po si Microsoft na wala po si Google, or vice versa po, meron pong mga setups or settings na meron si Google na wala po si Microsoft. So, expect po natin na magkakaroon po ng changes sa format. So, mas mainam siguro ma'am kung mag-share tayo ng document via Google Drive, mas mainam po siguro let's start initially na lang po sa Google Docs para po kung ano po yung nai-input natin doon na setup and format, yun na po mismo yung makikita kung i-share po natin sa mga colleagues natin.
Oo, kasi usually kasi ang practice natin, gagawa muna tayo sa Microsoft Word kasi offline nga yun. Tapos, pagtapos na, saka lang natin sinishare, no? Ganon siguro ang ginagawa ng iba.
Oo.
So, pwede po nating magawa para hindi po tayo nagpapalitan ng mga formatting. Kung talagang nakadesign naman siya for sharing, let's start na lang creating the document inside the Google Docs para mabilis po.
Hello po, Sir Ben.
Yes po.
Follow-up po. Kasi po, pag
Si Miss Dayan po ba ito?
Opo.
Yes sir.
Okay.
Yes po. Pag nag-upload po sa Google Drive, napuputol na po yung document. Ang nagiging last resort na lang po namin is i-turn po yung document into PDF. Yun nga lang po. Lagi naman tayo kapag edit.
Sa Microsoft Word document pa rin po ba ito, ma'am?
Okay. Yes po, Word doc po. Tapos i-upload na po sa Google Drive.
Kung napuputol po, may reason din kung halimbawa baka mabagal lang yung internet nyo kaya hindi nagsasucceed. Number 2, gano'n na po kalaki pala yung file na tinatransfer? 48 MB.
Yes po.
Maliit lang yun. Kayang-kaya yun kung 48 MB lang. So, it's either connectivity issue. Kasi pag na-transfer na po talaga yan, auto-convert na po yan. Pag binuksan nyo yan, meron ka ng option to open that using Google Docs. Pero kung napuputol, yun ang di natin sure kung bakit.
Usually kasi Sir Richard, per experience, may mga file po kasi na sa sobrang laki or sobrang bigat na ng file. Like sa Microsoft siguro, kung actually nag-encounter na namin ito with sa ibang office po namin, kung aware po, just to share for sharing, yung FMS po natin, may monitoring po kasi sila na nakalagay sa Microsoft Excel. And then nung trinay po namin i-upload sa Google Drive para i-convert to Google Sheets, nag-error na po kasi sobrang bigat po ng file. So, namang suggestion po namin, kung may i-create tayong document, mas mainam siguro na, kumbaga, magsimula na tayo sa Google Docs kung for sharing. Or, na-try nyo kaya, ma'am, na kumbaga parang i-breakdown yung document. Like, yung kalahati mo na yung, kumbaga, parang hatiin natin yung laman ng file. Like, kalahati mo na nung buong yung kabuuan po ng pages, and then i-upload po natin. And then after that, yung kalahati po ulit.
Ay, Sir Ben, tanong ko lang.
Siguro, yes, sir.
Yun bang Excel na tinatransfer nyo, parang a sort of database nyo na kasi naka-multiple sheet sa loob?
Yes, sir. Yung nabanggit ko po na example, sir, na nag-error sa pag-convert.
Okay. Yes.
Sobrang bigat na nun, sir. Sobrang dami na kasing tabs.
Tama. Oo. Dami ng tabs noon. Pero kung...
So, yun po, ma'am. Kung gusto niyo po, pwede ko din po siguro kayong i-assist after the training para ma-check natin, ma'am, yung file na tinutukoy niyo po. Pero yun po, as a suggestion or recommendation, mas mainam po siguro simulan na natin sa Google Docs yung kung mag-create po tayo ng file para po hindi na tayo mahirapan. Actually, ma'am, ang suggestion po or work around po na ginawa ng FMS dati, nag-copy and paste po sila. Kasi sobrang bigat na po ng file. Ganun po kabigat yung document na in-upload nila na hindi na po ma-convert ni Google dahil nga dun sa
multiple tabs na kasi. Masyado nang madami yun nga.
Yes, sir.
Ayan, sige po. So, meron pa po, sir, from Ma'am Delia of Region 10, pwede po ba ma-demo how to transfer a file from your Gmail inbox to the drive? Gmail inbox to the Google Drive.
Ma'am Delia, can you please confirm kung tama po ba na yung Gmail inbox po na tinutukoy natin ay yung Gmail attachment na isi-save po sa Google Drive? Tama po ba? Yeah. So, take the stage.
Sige. Kanina, in-explain ko na yun na you can transfer your files coming from your Gmail, especially yung mga attachment, di ba? To organize sa Google Drive. Okay, let me present. Ay, naka-present pa si Sir Ben.
Teka, sir, i-stop ko lang po yung presentation.
Okay.
Ayan po.
Yan, okay. 'Di ba ang kanina nabanggit ko na yung drive, yun ang talagang repository natin, yung parang pinaka-storage natin. So, in order for us to organize kung ano yung mga nasa attachment natin, gusto ko siya nang i-transfer at ilagay ko siya sa isang particular na folder. So, pag clinic ko po ito, halimbawa, in-open ko tong file, tapos sinanap ko yung attachment. Ito po, yung icon na yan, meron po siyang attachment. Okay. Pag clinic nyo po yan, meron po siya nakalagay na download at meron po ditong organize and drive. So, i-click nyo lang po yan. Then, automatic po yung maghahanap ng directory kung saan mo siya gustong ilagay. Pag mabilis po ang internet nyo, may lalabas pa po dito eh. Supposed to be dapat marami pa po yan eh. Dito kasi, shortcut na siya para mag-open. Pero hindi po yun ang intention kong gawin. Ang intention ko po ay mag-browse ako within subfolder nito para makita ko po kung saan. Pero kung gusto mo lang na ma-transfer sa drive without organizing it, i-click mo lang po dun sa drive. Tapos, move na siya. Dali. Open ako ng bagong tab. I-check ko po dito kung na-transfer na. Pero pakalat-kalat lang po siya sa aking drive. Hindi po siya doon sa particular na folder kung saan ko siya gustong ilagay. Dali, mabagal lang pong mag-load. Ang file po ay ICT checklist. Okay. Yan. Check po natin dito sa recent kung na-identify siya. Ayun na po pala. Handali. Ito na po. You created today, ICT checklist. Nakikita niyo po?
Ma'am Delia, okay na. Nakita niyo na, ma'am. Copy po. Opo, yes.
Okay, sige
Okay,
po.
thank you po. Another one po, this is the last question sa chat box. How effective is the security of Google as far as sharing confidential files via Google Drive?
Okay.
From Ma'am Elma, salamat.
In terms of security, ang security kasi, ito kasi for personal use, 'di ba? So it's a matter of securing your credentials. Siguro best practices lang. We have to make sure na yung create nating shared folder ay nakaakma lang dun sa mga particular person na trusted natin or talagang ka-work natin. Kasi ang option lang naman dito is tatlo eh. Either bigyan lang natin sila ng ng ownership, bigyan natin siya ng edit, saka bigyan natin sila ng view. The rest po kasi ay nasa back-end na. Baka po ang tinutukoy nyo po yung medyo deep dive na security flow na hinahanapan nyo na kung nahahack ba to or whatsoever. Pero this part, ma'am, this is more on personal and collaborative sharing wherein ang capacity po ng bawat isa ay yun lang, permission ng owner, editor, view, saka comment. Hanggang dun lang po.
Sir Richard, may I include?
Sige.
With additional demo na lang din siguro, sir.
Okay. Dagdag tayo.
Ayun. Ma'am Elma, yun nga po yung sa effectivity nga po ng security ng Google. So, sir, pag-share po ng document, kung nakita niyo po as na-demo po ni Ma'am ni Sir Richard kanina, pwede po siya as viewer, commenter, editor, yan yung tatlo po. Pero may isa pa pong way to pag-secure ng document. Pwede siya paki-cancel yung cancel lang. Cancel. Yan. Yan, sir. Cancel mo, sir. Yan. Yung nasa baba, yung get link. So, ito po. Yan, sir. Pwede, yung change link to I1. So, sa atin kasi, pag-grab na lang siguro ako, sir, para ma-demo ko ng mas maayos.
Sige. Magde-demo ka? Stop
Yes,
ko?
Opo. Nakikita po ba yung Google Drive ko? Tama
Yes
ba?
po. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, ano po ba yung restricted na yun? Yung sa baba. So, share. Yeah. So, by default, yung na-demo po sa atin, sorry, ito na lang siguro, yung sa memos. Ayan, tulad po na ito, yung memos and advisories. Kasi nakashare ito sa kay Sir Neil para po i-check yung mga memos and advisories po namin for email purposes. For email concerns. So, by default, pwede ko pong baguhin yung permission ni Sir Neil as viewer, commenter po ng file or document or given temporary access or make owner or i-remove. Pero ano ba yung get link po na nasa baba? So ito po yung mas dapat po sana nating tutukan. Yung get link po sa baba. Kasi may options po dito na restricted. Yung restricted po na yon, ibig sabihin kung sino po yung pinag-sharean lang natin ng document ang makaka-access ng mga files or nung folder po na nasa Google Drive natin. Yun po yung purpose ng restricted. Yan. So, since sinet ko po na restricted dito, makakita lang po dito as si Sir Neil. Kasi nga, siya po yung pinag-sharean ko kanina. Kung makikita niyo po dito sa sharing. So, yan. wala na pong ibang makaka-access. Restricted only. And then, ano ba yung sa Department of Social Welfare and Development? Ito po yung organization natin na DSWD.gov.ph. So, pwede ko pong iset na within our network or within DSWD, may permission sila to view, comment, or edit. So, ito po yung medyo crucial sa atin. So, dapat kung sensitive po yung document, dapat po restricted lang. Pero kung gusto po natin like memos, tulad nga po ng nabanggit ko kanina, mga memos ito na sinend po namin sa advisories. So, pwede po nating iset na viewer siya para po kahit hindi na nila makita sa email yung advisories, pwede po nilang i-check dito sa Google Drive ko po yung mga na-shared po naming memo na send po namin to advisory. And then ano po yung anyone with the link? So, ito po yung pinakadelikadong setup ng pag-share ng document. Kasi, yung anyone with the link po, kung makikita nyo po kanina sa Jamboard, wait, mag-set up lang po ako ng Jamboard. Yan. Kung makikita po natin kanina sa Jamboard, sa DSWD email ko na lang po siguro. Yan. Yan, ito. Yung shinare po kanina. Yun. Yan. Kung makikita po sa Jamboard kanina, may mga, kung naka-share po ito, or let's say, mas mainam siguro mag-create na lang po ako ng new. Create new Jamboard. Yan. Share ko po ito sa anyone. Yan. Yan. Anyone with the link. Yan. Done. So, shinare ko po ito. You may edit if you want. For demonstration purposes, i-chat ko po dito yung link. So, nakashare na po ito with anyone. So, say, yeah. Text box. So, kung makikita nyo po, since nakashare to with anyone, makikita natin kung sino yung mga umaccess. May mga pangalan yan. So, kung makikita nyo po, kung nakashare with anyone to, makapasin kayo most hub. So, ito po yung magiging issue natin kung nakashare with anyone. Kasi, hindi po natin alam kung sino po yung may access ng document natin or kung sino may permission ng document natin. So, let us beware sa pag-share po ng document. So, itong anonymous heads po nito, hindi po natin alam sila. So, they might download your file, they might access your file lalo pag sensitive, and then pwede kayong up or something like that. Or mas worse, like yung sa ransomware siguro. Or parang ransomware setup na para hindi i-share yung document na yun, bigyan nyo sila ng pera. So, yun po yung purpose yun po yung kumbaga, risk na mag-share. So, yan po. Wombat, anonymous query. Hindi po natin yan malalaman kung sino yung may access. Pero kung naka-DSWD email lang po, makikita po natin dito si Sir Jan, si Ma'am Elma, and si Ma'am Angelina Paghubasan. So, yun po yung difference nung sa baba na may anyone with the link at yung sa within the document and yung restricted. So, ito po yung dapat po nating tignan most of the time, every now and then po na mag-share tayo ng document. Kung restricted lang or within the Department of Social Welfare and Development lang po. So within our domain na DSWD.gov.ph lang po. And kung nakashare naman po ito sa DSWD.gov.ph, mas mainam po sigurong viewer and editor lang po para hindi magulo yung document natin or magulo or kumbaga they may use it on their personal use or baka pwedeng gamitin ito against us. And most especially yung anyone with the link. Ito po yung dapat po nating iwasan. Pwede po siguro itong anyone with the link. Pwede po siguro itong anyone with the link kung gusto mo nating mag-share ng mga guides like COVID-19 guides on how to avoid. Yun, pwede po siguro yung anyone with the link. Pero kung sensitive document po, yun po yung dapat po nating pagtignan ng pansin yung sa pag-share po ng permission. So, sa restricted ba siya or within the DSWD only? So, yun po. Yun po yung dapat po nating tingnan para po masabi nating secure po yung documents natin sa Google Drive. So, yun lang po.
Ayan, maraming salamat Sir Ben and sa inyo po mga clarification sa aming mga katanungan, especially po with regards to yung ating Google Drive. Ano po. So, medyo mahaba na po yung ating extension and nakikita ko naman na parang Ma'am Jomac, yung katanungan niyo po ba ay nasagot na?
Parang more or less ganun din. Pero okay lang
Okay.
kung medyo mag-extend. Kahit hindi na muna.
Okay.
Makapagod na rin
So,
yung iba.
medyo
Salamat.
nasagot naman na po. Okay po. So, yun po. Sir Ben, meron pa po ba kayong additional?
Ayun sir, kumbaga magbigay lang siguro ko ng additional input sir dun sa concern ni Ma'am Jen.
Okay po. Sige po. Sige po. Last ano na
Yung
lang.
Yes. Yung sa pag-email blast po, pwede tayong mag-create ng Google Groups, kumbaga. And I believe i-discuss na lang siguro ito ni Sir Richard for the next bukas po for additional info. Yung pag-email blast, gamit sir yung contacts. Gamit siguro sa Richard yung contacts or Google Groups kasi pwede siya doon, yung pag-email blast.
Sige. Saka pala yung yung mga karamihan kasi sa mga question ngayon based doon sa actual nyo talagang ginagawa. So yung work around doon sa sa process nyo, doon talaga may experience ano pa yung mga kailangan yung malaman. That's why it's very good na ganun ang participation natin, question agad pag merong gustong i-clarify kasi yun talaga ang ginagamit natin sa sa work. So, andito po kami para sagutin kung ano yung mga kailangan yung support. So, habang po tayo nagpi-present ng mga natin, mga demo, ilagay nyo na po lahat ng mga questions.
Sige po. So,
and last information lang Sir Jason.
Yes po.
If I may. Yeah. Yes sir. So ito sir, kumbaga bagong update lang po ito ni Google or bagong pag-inform lang po sa amin to us or as email administrator. So kung mapapansin niyo po sir, itong mga Google Docs or Google Sheets or Google Slides po na create ko, ito po actually yung mga guides na sinishare ko sa mga colleagues natin o sa mga kasama natin na kailangan ng guide kung sakali. Pero kung mapapansin niyo po dito sa may file size na column, naka-dash po lahat. So ano pong ibig sabihin nito? Naka-dash po lahat. Yung sa pinaka-right side po ng panel natin o screen natin. Ang ibig sabihin po
hello sir.
Ng Google, configure tayo via Google Docs, Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. Yun nga lang, nagbigay po sa atin ng update si Google na by June 2021 po, so 1 month from now, lahat daw po ng Google, ng mga Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides po na i-create natin ay magko-consume na din daw po ng storage. Pero yung mga na-create na natin prior the date ay hindi na po mag-account. So kumbaga, yung mga i-create po nating documents by June 2021 ay magkakaroon na po. So makapansin nyo din po yan. So magbigay na lang din kami ng additional, kumbaga advance info po sa inyo para lang po hindi tayo mabigla by June. Or baka siguro mag-set na rin kami ng information na rin para sa lahat para po maging aware din po sila. And yun po, bale, we'll try to discuss and siguro make an alternative siguro kung may concerns pa sa storage. Pero yun lang po sa ngayon, inform ko lang po kayo na by June 2021, lahat po ng Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides po na i-create natin ay mag-consume na po siya ng file storage. Sir Richard, please confirm.
Yes, kasi kasama yan doon sa Google Workspace migration.
Ayan.
So, yun lang sir. So far okay na po.
Okay po. Thank you po, sir, for that advanced information. No? So, may dadagdag sa ating mga storage if ever. Sige po. So, yun po. I think na-cover na po natin lahat ng topics natin for today, and bear with us, and sorry kung meron pong extension. So, yun po. Let's call it a day. Maraming salamat po sa inyong very active participation sa ating buong araw na discussion. So right now po ay magbibigay po kami ng link for our daily learning journal. Paki-access na lang po sa ating chat box. So again, maraming salamat po, and see you tomorrow po at 9 o'clock for the continuation of our discussion ng ating Google Suite application. So, 9 o'clock po tayo mag-start, and we are encouraging you na 10 minutes before 9 o'clock tayo po ay pumasok na sa ating link. So, muli po, magandang hapon. Maraming salamat po at ingat po tayo sa ating pag-uwi. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon.
Opo. Thank you po.
Sir Richard?
Yes.
Sir Jason?
Salamat.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, Sir. Sir, may attendance po naman, sir, ano?
Yes po, meron po tayo.
Ayun, sir, pahingi na lang din po siguro, or pasend na lang din po siguro kay Sir Richard para po sa certificates kung sakali.
Okay po. So we will complete po muna yung buong training. Ano, sir?
Yes, sir. Apo.
Thank you.
Salamat po, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.